Can you guys hear me? Test, test, test. Can you guys hear me? Dave Jose is about to drop some smoke. This is not just a test. Let me know if you guys can hear me well. Can you guys hear me? Test, 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 test. Can you hear me? Test, test, test. Can y'all hear me now? I have my microphone off by mistake, so you guys should hear me. Please forgive me, guys. I just had my system set up on some Gorilla stuff, and I messed it up by changing the way I had the sound hooked up. So forgive me. Nope, you're gone. Yeah, I just took my earphones out. I'm about to change it over. Okay, we should be good. There we go. So you guys should hear. Please forgive me, guys. Yeah, I messed up a little bit. Okay, so everybody can hear me now, right? Good. Now I got to change one other thing and then I'll be good. Let me see. Okay. Hello, hello, hello. You are here with Dave Jose on a hot Sunday in Buckeye, Arizona. It's not really hot, it's kind of warm, but I wanted to do a video for you guys today to show you something in the natural realm and help you to understand a deep concept in the spiritual realm. Now, I did go to his house and had some good food and enjoying myself, and one of their little guys were hanging out with us or whatever, and touched my face or whatever, had sparkles. So you got to excuse the sparkles on my face. It's ridiculous. But anyway, I wanted to drop a video for you guys talking about the timing of God, the timing. Can y'all hear me? Peaking. Are you guys hearing sound? You definitely should be hearing sound now. You guys hearing sound? Test, 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 test. Are you guys hearing sound? I hope I'm not driving y'all crazy. Are y'all hearing sound? Yikes. Are y'all hearing sound? Okay, we're good. You guys are hearing sound. Now, we should be able to party now. Let me see. I got little wires and cords everywhere. Okay, so what we're gonna do now, we're gonna try to see if you can hear some audio because I gotta play audio for us to really understand what's happening. So tell me if you hear this audio. Of God. See, many times in our life, we want things to happen right now. We want things to happen the way that we want it to happen. But we fail to understand that God is wise. We fail to understand that God can see your problem today. He can see what deal with tomorrow. He can see. You're hearing an echo 10, 20, 30, 50, 100 years in the future. He can see 100 years in the past, and he can also see the present at the same time. So God knows what's going on, and he knows what you need. Now, for me, I was working on a car, and as I was building the car, I was anxious, happy, excited to test the car. and I got the car all set up, checked all the bolts everywhere, made sure everything was tight, um, checked everything that I could physically see. And I started the car, got the car to run. I then checked the timing. And with the timing light, I set the timing to a certain degree. Timing is okay, guys. So we should be perfect. We have a delay of quite some time. So I'm going to turn off the one sound so that we can get going. So guys, what we're going to deal with today is a big battle that I am having with a silly attorney. I'm going to show you guys how attorneys work. I'm also going to show you guys once and for all, no sound now, but do see you. You guys should have video. Facebook is literally behind, YouTube is behind by so long, it's unbelievable with the delay. So guys, you can see me now. So everything is up. Can you guys hear me now? So what we're going to deal with, guys, is the way that the Bar Association and Dirty Rats, and we are restarting, we're starting from fresh. Dirty Rats and Bar Association members, guys, often work together, and they will try to attack the people and do wrong. But these things that they do are not based on them following the law. And so when we are fighting, I like to go head up with bad actors. I like to deal with them face to face. The reason I like to do this is because it allows for the people to have a chance to understand what's really going on. It gives you a chance to see how the Bar Association works. It gives you a chance to see how dirty these actors can be. When you truly have an understanding of these things, it allows you to fight. Now, what I like to do, guys, is I like to be fair. I like to ask the people who are coming against me little simple questions so that they might answer and I can understand where they're coming from. Yes, God did tell us about attorneys. We can see in Luke 11:52 how God tells us, he says, woe unto you lawyers, right? And he tells them that they hide the key of knowledge. And then not only do they hide the key of knowledge, which you're going to witness in real life, not only do they hide the key of knowledge, but another thing that they do is they hide the key of knowledge, and those who were entering in, they will hinder. They will try to block you from using knowledge or wisdom the way that it's supposed to work. And then they also, the Bible says, will not enter in themselves. So they're not going to do those things that are necessary to be right by God. They are not going to do those, they are not going to do those things that are necessary in order to be pleasing in God's eyes. What they are going to do is to deceive the people who are fighting. So in order to help you guys see this, I wanted to take you into a conversation that I had with an attorney. My screen is going to go off yesterday. And in this conversation, I'm going to show you guys the way that attorneys get down. Now, what I want you to understand is that this attorney is not from Arizona. This attorney is actually from New Jersey and New York. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you guys and give you a walk into my life. I'm going to let you see what I face and what I have to fight. I am going to share my screen so you guys can have the benefit of understanding exactly what is happening. See, guys, when I started to fight the deep state, attorneys and government officials started working together in order to try to stop me from getting the word out. So what I'm going to do is show you in real life how this works. And what usually happens is there's going to be people who call themselves fighting in the midst of the movement. If you look here, there is a video that I did that speaks of the David, Jose, and Kathy situation. When you go into the comments, you're going to see where a guy is going to jump in who wants to fight. So here it is here. If you guys can see, his name is Artie's Corporate Fiction. He is an attorney. Now, when you look at Artie's Corporate Fiction, he's coming on my page. You got to realize if this guy is coming on to my page and he's an attorney out of New Jersey or New York, something is kind of weird. If you are busy doing your work as an attorney, why would you be on the midst of a page of a guy in Arizona? I hope y'all catching this. But let's see what he says. He says, has anyone actually vetted this Dave guy teaches, what this Dave guy teaches? Now, realize, guys, he is somebody from New York or New Jersey. What business is it of his to vet David Jose in Arizona? Does he have evidence of victories? I've already exposed David Straight as a liar regarding his case with Jamie Kobot. Now, this is funny, y'all, because this is just after a guy named Michael started hating on David Straight, but Michael actually learned from David Straight. So in other words, a man in the CPS movement named Michael started studying under a guy named David Straight, and he started learning how to use the law, and then started making a YouTube channel and videos exercising the rights he learned from David Straight. So in other words, you don't even have a history without David Straight, but now you're attacking David Straight, somebody who helps people learn law. But let's go deeper. So I said, your forefathers in the state constitution, right? So he's asking if anybody vetted me. I said, yeah, your forefathers did. I said, I'm guessing you have amazing victories and you are the one who judges the lower level guys to see who's correct, right? So I realized this guy is one of those people who act like he's an attorney or he's an attorney, who goes around and tries to look at everybody to see who he can say is not legit. I said, please don't tell me about David Straight. I want to see your win. See, this is how you got to deal with these clowns. Somebody comes and they want to attack you and judge the wins that you have. If you're going to judge the wins I have from a position of authority or power, you at least should have some victories to be able to fight with. Notice what he says, though, real quick. It's going to show how real this is. He says, I'm not the one making the claims of victory. I'm only asking you for evidence of these supposed affidavits actually accomplish, right? What you claim they accomplish. Now, what's funny is this guy comes right after Michael Cadena start hating, and I realized Michael Cadena sent this clown, but he doesn't come out truthfully. Watch this. I said, your whole page is full of you calling yourself testing others, but you have literally zero to offer? Question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark. Okay, in other words, you need fighters to try to give you something to do so you look like you have a purpose, right? I said, the people in the thousands tell what I do, including government officials. So really, I'm not worried what you are talking about. I said, the people tell what I do, real witness and testimony. That's a good amount of research for you. But what do you do for the world? So then he comes and he says, so I'll take that as a no to my question. See, guys, you got to understand, first of all, I'm not here to serve people who don't serve people. I'm not here to prove anything to attorneys who don't give anybody anything. But look at what he says. I do my best to debunk people who sell pseudo-legal arguments that don't work for money or notoriety. I said, LOL. I don't care what a beta does, my friend. I know what I am,
and others do too. I meant to say TOO. I said TO. I'm human. I said, you can talk and make all the shows you want. Then they will come see me and realize I'm real, like all the non-producers before you. And then I said, you are not even worth me collecting stuff I already put out. It's there. Have a party, young man. And then he talked about debunking. So here's what I said. I said, you're going to have a hard time debunking state constitutions. Now, guys, I'm going to show you how ignorant attorneys can be. I already am showing this guy that I'm going to use the state constitution to destroy him with. And he didn't even catch it. I tell him you're going to have a hard time debunking state constitutions because he's talking about my affidavits. He's too silly because he got sent by a troll in the movement acting like he's helping people who started working with dirty people. He thinks that he's coming to get me and he's going to nail me, and I'm telling him what I'm going to do to him before I do it. And he don't catch it. So watch what I do to this guy. He says, if anything that you submit is close to what Straight submits, my job is already done. They're typical sovereign citizen paperwork that's easily thrown out of court, and when challenged, the guru claims corruption and ad hominem, standard practice. I said, quick question. Can you say the state constitutions are not binding on government employees? And then I come again and say, can you answer for me? Are the state constitutions binding on government workers? See, he's not answering for a while, so I got to ask over and over and over. But I told him what I was going to do to him already, right? Watch this. So I say, your response doesn't seem to be as quick as your others. You okay? So already, guys, I've trapped this guy. I said to him, do the state constitution bind the government, right? And what ends up happening is he has to answer, but then he waits a while because he can't answer the way he wants to. Same way as always. He comes back later on, an hour later, and says, I'm perfectly fine. I'm just at work. To answer your question, yes. So guys, he answers and says that the state constitution binds the government workers. But watch what he says. The problem for you is that you aren't the arbiter of whether a state worker violates those state constitutions. So guys, I already told this guy that I was going to beat his brakes off with the state constitution. And then his silly anus goes and tries to tell me how I'm not the one who gets to tell if they're violating the state constitutions. Now, y'all know me. Y'all know how I get down. So watch how I do this silly attorney, y'all. I say, so are you saying the people don't regulate the state governments? Though you just said you don't, you agree that government is bound by state constitutions? Really? So, and I'm asking again because he's slowing down now. So are you saying the people don't get to tell if government is trampling those things they are bound by in the state constitutions? Tell me more. So I'm being funny. I'm actually playing with him. Tell me more about how the people don't have the power to deal with this. Tell me more how there's somebody else who does it. Now watch this. I'm going to show y'all how dumb the attorneys are when they think that they can do things that somebody told them, but they didn't check. See, this is where I have fun. Watch what this guy says. Watch this. This is going to be good. Oh, no. And he said he was licensed in New Jersey and New York. So he's double smart, y'all. Watch this. The determination is done via the judicial process in a court of law with the appropriate due process afforded to all parties, not by an affidavit from someone on the internet. Oh my gosh. So look at, watch this, y'all, watch this. So you are saying, this is me, that a court is where the government servants are regulated and the people don't have the right? Now notice how I keep asking questions he don't want to answer completely. He takes time. Watch this. And where did you get this from? Can you show me a source that says that on the courts regulate public office? I meant to say only the courts. I said, also, what's a grievance and a redress? I ask him again, this is fun. You are actually teaching me a ton. Where did you study or how did you learn? And are you an attorney? I said attorneys, I meant to say attorney. Now, guys, notice that I'm playing games with this guy and having fun. at the same time that I'm talking to him, because I already know where he's going. I already know their arguments, and this is what I have fun doing, going at them head up. So watch what I say. What he says. He says, both the judicial, now watch this, y'all. I have told y'all in videos that government officials have tricked you into going into oversight committees, doing complaints, bar complaints, public officer complaints, rather than writing affidavits and making sure warrants get dropped in their hands. Watch this. Both the judicial and executive branches provide avenues of oversight into the conduct of public officials. This is basic. Now he's really getting into it, y'all. This guy is so smart that he's telling me that what I'm asking him is basic stuff, like I'm dumb for asking him. And he doesn't realize I already freaking beat him 5 minutes ago. Watch this. He says, I'm licensed in New York and New Jersey. I said, Artie, can you please show me what they are called that provide oversight? I said, wow, that's killer stuff. So you are telling me New Jersey and New York states both gave you a license. Now, the first thing he said was he was licensed in both states. Guys, understand attorneys are not licensed in states. No Secretary of State, like other entities, signed off on a license for them to practice law where they are the only ones who can practice law. What he has is a commercial license to practice law in the courts in the state only. That's all he has. He's not the only one who can dictate what happens in law, but he's trying, y'all. Now watch this. I say, you must be next level smart. Can you show us what your licenses look like so we can verify you you are really that educated and have such a rare status? If you can do a vid on your page and show them, that would be awesomeness. We can all learn so much. So right now I'm just praising this dude, making him think like he's the greatest thing in the world and, having fun, Watch this. I said, man, you seem pretty darn educated. I think it's awesome when good attorneys come give us wisdom. I am so thankful to you. I look forward to your wonderful responses. Watch this, y'all. In the judiciary, it's called filing a civil suit. So in order for us to deal with our government servants who are doing wrong, we got to go to the court and have a civil suit to ask them if they're going to punish their friends. Oh, okay. Watch this. For the executive branch, most departments have areas where complaints can be filed against public employees. Now, you see what I told y'all. The attorneys have tricked us, and they always want to get us inside of some type of committee or some type of oversight system that is a way to just quash or act like they're hearing your issues and then do nothing about it. So the Constitution says when somebody tramples your rights and somebody wants to make a warrant to do an affidavit sworn under the penalty of perjury. This clown is trying to teach us to freaking go to a committee and make a complaint. So watch this. I says, and tell me, are you currently practicing in your line of work? He said, well, I can show you my law license for New York State. I never ordered one for New Jersey since it's primarily for aesthetics. I'm licensed to practice, meaning authorized by the judiciary branches of New York and New Jersey. Now, it does not say he has a right to practice law in a sense of he has some right that nobody else has to talk about the law or teach people the law. It means to practice law in court and submit documents. So he thinks he's slick, but he realizes where I'm going, so he tried to back out a little bit. Then he's going to tell y'all he realized where I was going. Now watch this. He said, I can't say I'm actively practicing in New York. I've been working out of New Jersey for about 10 years now. I said, so I'm a little lost. Are you licensed by states, New Jersey and New York? Or is licensing more with a private, because this is how they normally do it, association is signed by the president? I thought with associations and the leading trustee or the president is the one who signs, but shucks, if your Secretary of State signed it, that would be even more awesome. Please show us. This is cool. So what can happen is you can become a lawyer and then be admitted into the bar by showing that you have the ability to function in their realm and act in court. Or you can have a license with the Bar Association, still be admitted to practice in the courts, and be part of the bar association. So watch what he says. I said, do you have the card? I said, that's pretty cool. What do you do in New Jersey using your license? I said, oh, and thank you for all your responses and discussion. This is good stuff to understand and learn. Oh, and one more time, the people don't regulate their governments, just the courts and oversight entities. So notice he's trying to lead me into a place where we act like there's oversight committees. If you're having a problem reading the screen, just turn it sideways. It might be a little bit better. So notice, guys, what he's trying to do is lead me to deal only with these silly committees. So I say, so government as its form and basis, oh, no, he says, yeah, I figured you were going to go this route. Yeah, exactly. You know exactly where I'm taking you. Good. But spoiler alert, I'm not a member of any private association. Good, because I was asking you if you were, so I can understand exactly what type of attorney you were. I'm not required to be a member of any bar association. Good, because it's a voluntary association formed to the government. Be it the ABA New Jersey Bar Association or New York Bar Association. It's because my profession is regulated by the judicial branches of the state. Ooh, okay, well, who regulates the state? The state. Watch this. So government at its form and basis has some type of committee or something something before something to redress, or you have to go to court. So I'm saying, so does the state have committees in their form and basis of government that we're supposed to go to, right? To get redress of grievances, or you have to go to court? I said, that's constitutional precepts, question mark. He says, when I pay my annual registration fees, I pay directly to the judiciary, not a private organization, which is a conflict of interest. How the freak are you taking people to court and you're paying your money directly to the court as an attorney? So if one of the people come in a case against you and you're paying the court directly as an attorney, that's not good. So Dave cares for you. I keep telling you I'm licensed, AKA also known as authorized. Now see, license is not also authorized because you have a plumber's license and that doesn't authorize the plumber to go into a court, okay? Professions have licensing in states. The Secretary of State in most states usually signs off on the license. He tried to show me last night, and I'll let you guys see it if I can get it to work. He tried to show me where the courts have admitted him into being able to practice in the courts. That is not a license to practice law or to deal with the law. It's the ability to deal with the law representing persons in their state courts. That's what it is. Now, let me keep going. I don't need to have a physical license to demonstrate that. Okay, so so are you a sovereign citizen now? Because when a cop asks you to present a license, you have to present it in order for us to know that you are legitimate and you have the right or the privilege to use that commercial vehicle you're driving in. But let's read. However, I do have a physical license for New York and it's on my wall. I can take a picture, a video. When I get home soon. I said, video is awesome, but you said you were licensed. But you said something about not having a physical license. When verifying, the cops like me to have a physical one. And since I'm not a sovereign citizen wacky person, I like to use one. Now I'm really messing with them now. I said, you pay the judiciary dues? Are they an association? Ouch. Right? I'm home. Do you want me to send a picture of my New York license? I said, you could do a vid showing it and I can check later tonight. This will be an actual state license, correct? And not the Supreme Court role or their authority to practice in their courts, right? Now, before he gives it to me, I'm saying, are you going to give me something where the courts just say you're allowed to be representing persons in their court? Are you going to show me a state license from the Secretary of State issued by the state? The court's allowing you to come there saying that they tested you and you're smart enough or good enough to follow their procedure means nothing to me if the license is not produced by the state. He said, It's a license provided by the appellate division of the Supreme Court of the state of New York. Is that sufficient for you to do cases in courts? Or is it a license to deal with law given by the state? Notice what I'm saying. And if you can please do a vid and show what we are discussing, he said it's both. I can appear in court and submit filings. Notice he can represent a person. Nothing about being able to deal, having a license that only bar attorneys can deal with law in a state, right? He can consult with people for money, and he can go and submit documents on their behalf, a person, right? Whoop-de-doo. Video is being uploaded now and will be live shortly. You see the video? Now, I was on my webinar, so he's asking if I've seen it. I said, yes, just finished a webinar, but that was simply the permission to practice in courts, not an actual law license from the state. I know of admittance and Supreme Court role of attorneys, so I was asking, do courts regulate government, or do people have the power as well? Also, is petitioning for courts of law or other branches too? Now he's realizing we're getting a little far into this and he ain't ready to go to that next level. Watch this. Well, that's a law license. So maybe you need to reassess what you think a license is. Do you know the answer to these questions already? You're asking me about basic civics. Oh, really? So we're talking about basic civics, but I asked you about the state constitutions and you told me what rights the people don't have. Watch this. I said, you told me about courts. I went to public school, so I may not be as bright as you, and I use Ebonics. I don't know a ton of big words, so sometimes I have to ask people to break it down for me in third grader. Can you help me? And then I say, oh, please do tell. Who sent you to give me a law audit? See, guys, I realize already that he is sent by someone. I realize that he's not coming up with this action he's trying to do against me on his own, right? I say, is it not talking about a license? Because he asked me, do I know what the definition of a license is? I said, is it not permission to do something that would be illegal without it, sir? The courts gave you permission. I said, who gave the courts permission to exist and function? So now he's about to get into some deep poo-poo, right? I said, it said you are licensed to practice, quote unquote, in all state courts, right? So you could practice in state courts, right? He said, no, I at least expected you to know the basics, right? So he's saying, David, you don't even understand the basics of civics. But he just told me that the people have to go to committees in order to deal with what's wrong. So he's trying to literally get me to believe that I got to go to a committee to deal with the error of my servant government. Now watch this. Artie's corporate fiction. He says, I discovered you through David Straight videos. Guys, that's not really the truth. He really was dealing with a snake named Michael Cadena, and I knew it. So I asked him who sent him. He said, oh, through David Straight videos. I'm like, well, David Straight is getting dogged out by Michael Cadena right now. So chances are, if you're a person who fights election audits, I mean, for election audits, you would know that when strange things happen over and over again, that something's probably connected, right? So he did say Q. I was wondering if he was saying question. I didn't know. I said, what's basics Q? What does that mean? I said, can you tell me the source of basic civics, as you have made some statements that I don't know the source of? Is remedy for the people only in courts and oversight entities? Is that what the law allows for? As you said, I don't get to decide if a government worker is not following the Constitution. You mentioned going to a court. So what if the court was doing wrong? Would I file a lawsuit in the court to get remedy? Is that all I can do? And then 13 hours ago, you see, I wanted to bring that smoke. Here's what I said. I said, how's your time tonight or tomorrow a.m.? So as you guys can see, Dave Jose is like, yo, I want that freaking smoke. So I try to ask him how his time is, because really I want to catch his behind slipping and get him on a live with me, right? So y'all see the conversation. I tell him what I believe, and what he does is he tries to play a game, and y'all gonna see the screen go black. Let me get something real quick. he tries to play a game, right? So he tried to tell me I don't get to tell if the government is doing wrong. Now, guys, I'm going to show y'all that there's people in the movement who are so selfish and greedy that all they do, guys, is they try to find ways to destroy those who are in the movement. So you got people who learn the law from certain people. And what they do, and I'm going to try to share this in the screen, so y'all got to let me know if y'all hear the audio. What these people do is they get information from wise people, right? And then after they get information from wise people, they take that information, learn it, and use it, right? So I'm going to share my screen with y'all so y'all can see what I'm talking about. These clowns will get information, learn how to fight, learn how to stand using what you taught them. So here's a guy's page who has 12,000 subscribers. He got subscribers, y'all, from learning about the law. He has 12,800 subscribers, Dad versus CPS. One of his first videos on his page is a tall chocolate brother right here. He says, meet David Jose, the truth about CPS, 4.4K views as of 2 years ago. See, guys, 2 years ago, this guy was learning knowledge from me and from this man right here, David Straight, who is at Goodyear Church of Christ, showing in an Arizona class that I paid for David Straight to be able to come out, have food to eat, a place to stay, and some funds from the people so the people could learn to be responsible. And what you're going to find is, I'm playing some audio. Let me know if y'all can hear it.
What happens? They choose who you are. So aren't they supposed to be your public servants?
Can y'all hear this?
Aren't you supposed to be the boss and then the employee? Well, then how come you stood up when the judge walked into the room?
Can y'all hear this?
Because the minute you stood up, you said, I'm the employee. Employees stand when the boss walks in the room. You know what the boss does when an employee walks up in the room? He leans back in his chair, he puts his feet up on the desk, and he grabs a cigar. Okay. That's what the boss does. So the judge, he walked through the door from his chambers in the court.
Okay, so what I'm showing y'all is David Straight on this guy's page. Notice I paid for this video to be done. I paid for other videos of David Straight to be done and brought him on a platform when nobody else showed what David Straight was teaching. And I realized that David Straight had a whole bunch of knowledge. But what I realized is that a lot of the knowledge people can't get because they're not at that level as high as him. And a lot of the things that he learned 10 and 15 years ago, the government has struck from the records, hid stuff. So you can't always find it. So I learned to make it where I can show things simply and I update everything that I do so that you can always see what I'm talking about, right? Now, David Straight gets this guy who monetizes his page 19,000 views off of work that David Straight did that I brought to the people, right? So David Straight came humbly to Arizona to teach people. Here's him working with a troll 2 years ago, right? So now if we keep looking, Mike Cadena, he goes and he deals with the clerk 2 years ago. He shows him going against the police, right? But what we understand is Michael Cadena gets 9,000 views, gets these different amounts of views off of us giving him knowledge and information that he takes and he goes and he uses. Right here, Dad versus CPS versus law and teaching the law enforcement. I actually got on a call, guys, with that sheriff that's inside of the truck. I talked to the sheriff one-on-one. So what's happening? Are you guys hearing a bad echo still? Y'all still hearing a bad echo? Test, test, test. Y'all still hearing a bad echo? Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, let me turn down the audio some. Can y'all hear me now? Can y'all hear me now? Is it better? Is it better? Can you guys, is the sound still peaking? Let me take it off loop back too, because you might hear echo. Can y'all hear me better now? Can y'all hear me better now? Okay, we're good. Okay, so guys, let's understand what's happening. Let me hear it. Is it better now, guys? The audio better? I'm peaking a little bit, I see. Is it better now? Okay, it's good. Okay, so here's the deal, guys. What we got to understand is we had a situation where we're fighting, and I'm teaching this guy. David Straight is teaching this guy. So here's another video, guys, where he gets 4.4K views. And this video is Meet Dave Jose, the truth about CPS. So you can see from 2 years ago, I'm teaching people doing the hard work that it takes to really make something happen, right? So now you see in recent history, he's doing these videos attacking David Straight, right? Now he's attacking David Straight, and I want you guys to see how things work, because this man is acting like he wants to be able to teach people and lead people. And what this man does is, you need to mute your mic when playing a video. Okay, perfect. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate that. So what this guy does is he tries to play a game. He wants to act like he's teaching people. He wants to act like he has knowledge. But then when something does not work right for him inside of a case, he then goes back and he starts attacking the people that taught him, because he does not know the law for himself. He did not study the law for himself. So what I'm going to do is let you guys hear him have a discussion with a guy named Kirk. And you're going to realize what these people are like who are in the movement, trying to get attention from people, working with attorneys to hurt people and try to destroy the movement. And they come together to attack. Now, some people might say, no, David, why would you say he's coming together to attack? You have not proved that. Now, I asked this guy, where did he hear about me from? Who sent him, right? Now, this guy is now attacking David Straight because something didn't work in a single case he thought. See, guys, what you got to understand when you're fighting the enemy, that sometimes people are going to attack you and come with wickedness, right? They're going to attack you and come with wickedness because they understand and know that you are winning, right? They understand and know that you are winning, right? So this is the guy, Artie. Make sure you realize who it is. He says, I'm perfectly fine, right? I'm perfectly fine. Just at work. To answer your question, yes. The problem for you is that you aren't the arbiter of whether a state worker violates those state constitutions. So you don't get to hold them accountable, Dave. You don't get to show what's really happening. You don't get to be the one, Dave, who tells who is wrong or right. Only we can tell who's wrong or right. Are y'all hearing me now? So watch this, guys. This guy is sitting here exposing himself, showing that the people don't have a right to regulate the government or have oversight over them. He's trying to tell us that I don't get to tell what's going on as one of the people, right? And y'all notice I asked this man, where did you hear of me from? Where did you come from? Now, he tried to say he heard of me from a David Straight video, but notice this same clown troll, Dan versus CPS Michael, has a post where he's talking about somebody. Let's look. Shaking my head. You know, eventually, David Straight, you were going to be found out. Stay tuned for my next video. And big thanks to an attorney named Artie. He just debunked the whole Jamie Kobach case with David Straight. Y'all know that same one he mentioned when he first came on my page? Watch this. For reals, thank you so much. Y'all check out Artie's channel, Artie's Corporate Fiction. So he's now propping up an attorney to teach everybody as if the attorney knows the law. And the attorney just got done telling us, y'all, that we don't have the power. We don't have the power to go after government officials. Only the courts can do it, right? Or the executive branch has committees. You can go tell the committee about what your servants are doing to you. Guys, I'm gonna show y'all some real smoke. This is gonna get ugly. Watch this. Go check out Artie's channel, Artie's Corporate Fiction. I'm uploading my next video on David Straight. So he's attacking David Straight, the guy who taught him, because he went to court and said some things that he learned from David Straight that he never studied completely himself. So he copied and pasted and just gave it to people. And then when a judge said something he didn't like, the first thing he did was turn on the man who taught him, the very reason he got all these views on his channel. Right? Now watch this. I'm uploading my next video on David Straight. I could not have made this video if it wasn't for Artie's help. So that means they've been working with each other for a while. Artie, man, you must have paid a grip for all those documents you sent me. Much respect to you. So the attorney is working together with a dirty guy who's getting money from people in the movement, who learned things from the people in the movement, and then started using those things to get credibility and tell people about what's going on. This guy actually gets my videos and posts them on his channels, guys. This guy gets my videos that is on my channels and posts huge amounts of views, 19,000 views. So guys, what you got to understand is now he's putting an attorney out there, right? So he wants us to believe that an attorney knows what he's talking about. The attorney told me that the way that the law works, and it's basic, right? Now, guys, you understand that the word basis in law deals with those constitutional principles that are the foundation of government. You don't ever have to believe Dave Jose, because I told y'all I was going to blow this guy's back out with the state constitutions. I told him it'll be pretty hard, right? It'll be pretty hard for you to rebut or debate against the state constitutions. So I'm gonna show y'all some smoke. Watch this. Watch this. So you guys see the kind of quality of people who try to come at me. They're the same people who come at me to learn the law, the same people who will post my stuff, but he wants to come and act like he has some great understanding of what the law is and clown people. I'm going to show y'all about the basics and the basis of government. And I'm not going to use my own words to do it, because this attorney clown came trying to speak with authority because he's an attorney and he's telling us what's basic. So let's just go to Virginia Constitution and look at the basis of government, which is the basic part of government, the foundations of government, right? Now watch this. It's gonna get great. This is the Virginia Constitution preamble. I know we got a delay of about 10 seconds, so I'm gonna give it some time to pop up. Okay, here it goes. Get ready, get ready. This is gonna get beautiful. This is gonna get beautiful, beautiful list All right, get ready. Here we go. In the preamble of the Virginia Constitution, it says this here. A declaration of rights made by the good people of Virginia. The people make the rights up and declare them out of their mouth. So when he says you don't have the right to tell who's breaking the Constitution, you're telling me I got a right to write constitutions, create them, ordain and establish them, but I don't have the right to tell my weak servants that I have all the power. And see, he got videos on there talking about sovereign citizens and people who think they're sovereign, but the people of Virginia who made the state constitution thought they were sovereign. Look what they say. A declaration of rights made by the good people of Virginia in the exercise of their sovereign powers, which rights do pertain to them and their posterity as the basis and foundation of government. So the basis and foundation of government comes from the people. He says that the people have to go to committees in order to deal with regulating government, and that they are the ones who do the oversight. But, you know, in Virginia Constitution, you know, that basic foundation thing, you know, it says people, the source of power, that all power is vested in and consequently derived from the people. That magistrates, the government workers, are their trustees and servants and at all times amenable to them. That means that they are bound by me and it is my duty to control the government. I mean, but y'all saw where this attorney said, let me show y'all what this attorney said. Let me show y'all for some of y'all who wasn't here. We got to get this dude some act right, get this dude some of this real smoke. Hold on now. Hold on. Y'all give me 1 second now. Y'all just give me 1 second. Come on, y'all. Look at this. 10 hours before. I'm perfectly fine. I'm just at work. To answer your question, yes, the government is bound to the state constitutions. Did you read it, smart attorney? Because you said this. The problem for you, Dave, is that you aren't the arbiter of whether a state worker violates those state constitutions. Okay, so let me go back now. Let me go back because I don't want to say stuff myself because I ain't that smart and I use double negatives and I say stuff like we be and I use Ebonics, right? It said that all power is vested in and consequently derived from the people, and magistrates are their trustees and servants and at all times amenable to them. They are amenable to us at all times. If you're amenable and accountable to me at all times, I mean, it seems like the basis of government, the basics, says that the people have the power to regulate their government and tell them what to do. But I don't want to use my own words saying that the government, we can regulate the government because people might think I'm one of them five and fifths, right? Let me give Artie some more act right. That government is or ought to be instituted for the common benefit, protection, and security of the people, nation, or community, of all the various modes and forms of government that is best, which is capable of producing the greatest degree of happiness and safety, and is most effectually secured against the danger of maladministration. But David, you don't get the ability to tell if they're following the Constitution or not. You can only let courts do that. Oh, okay. And whenever any government shall be found inadequate or contrary to these purposes, without going to court, it did not say anything about going to court or to some committee, a majority of the community, the people, hath an indubitable, inalienable, and indefeasible right. See, he got to go get permission to practice law. We get to make determinations of law as the people without anybody's permission as a community. And then we have the right to reform, alter, or abolish it in such manner as shall be judged most conducive to the public will. You know what that means? However the freak we feel like it. But he says, no, David, I have a license as an attorney. Yeah, that means that if you didn't have a license to go in those courts, it would be illegal. I don't have to have a license, sir. I'm one of the people. I have the right to talk about the law, come together, talk about, consult what is good for the common people, and then instruct the government in what to do. Tell them what to do with the law, not ask them, sir. Now, Mr. Brilliant attorney guy, he feels like you got to go to some committee to regulate government, right? You got to go to some committee. I'm doing the one-hand chicken typing. You got to go to the government to correct bad actors, right? And I already told this dude, I said, listen, sir, you are going to have a hard time trying to debate against the state constitution. If you might fight some of them other dudes and clown them. But sir, when you come to me, God has given me much wisdom. I will blow your back out with the truth. I'll let the dang Constitution speak and shut my freaking mouth and destroy you with their own words, with any question you got, with any answer to any of your questions. I'll take you directly to it and hammer you with words that I didn't create. But you want to tell me what I can't do and what you are because you got a license. Boy, please, young man, watch this. He said, David, you don't get to be the one who has oversight, right? And he talked about how his profession was regulated by the court. I said, yes, sir. Who made the courts? Georgia Constitution. The people of this state have the inherent right of regulating their internal government. Government is instituted for the protection, security, and benefit of the people. And all times they have a right to alter or reform the same whenever the public good may require it. What the freak are you talking about? The people have to wait for a judge and see if it's the will of the judge to say if the government is doing right or wrong. Are you silly? We created the political association, boy. Watch this. Paragraph 1. All government of right originates with the people, is founded upon their will only, not the Bar Association, not the government workers. The judges don't get to tell us if somebody trampled our rights or not. They can act and defend they can give judgment where somebody did wrong, or a jury can. But you don't get to be the one who tell me if my rights are trampled or not. As a matter of fact, I don't go to court unless I decide before the judge that somebody trampled my rights, and I have to take the case there. But let me go deeper. It's founded upon their will only and is instituted solely for the good of the whole. Public officers are the trustees and servants of the people and are at all times amenable to them. Come on, little boy. Come on, little boy attorney. I'm playing with you like a puppy. Literally, I know where you're going before you go, right? What's the purpose of government? Protection to person and property is the paramount duty of government and shall be impartial and complete. No person shall be denied the equal protection of the laws. So guys, understand, the government has to protect your rights. Well, look at these rights we have. See, this guy had to have permission, guys. They had to have permission to deal with the law and go into court and deal with stuff, right? Look at what this says. Look at what this says. Paragraph 9. The people have the right. See, we don't need a license or permission to assemble peaceably for their common good, to talk about the freaking law, to deal with the law, make instructions for our silly government officials, and to apply by petition or remonstrance. Remonstrance is a strong rebuke. Some people say remonstrance. I'm not from England. I'm not the queen. So I'm going to say remonstrance because it comes from the word monster. Because when I write a remonstrance, that junk is monster. See, he doesn't understand. He thinks that, no, David, you can't use affidavits from a guy on the internet to tell the government that somebody broke the law. You dumb. It just said petition or remonstrance for those vested with the powers of government for redress of grievances. Now, come on now. I don't like to just tell y'all stuff, right? I don't like to just say stuff that I don't prove, and I like for it to be totally clear. So if I say that, if he says I can't use something like an affidavit or notice sent to somebody from somebody on the internet to tell government, shucks, I keep messing up. If I use something from the internet, a guy from the internet sends something to them, he thinks that's not good. We can't do that because we don't have the right. We don't have the right. You don't get to tell, sir. You don't get to control the government. You're just one of those darn peasants, boy. Watch this, y'all. All political power is inherent in the people, and all free governments are founded on their authority and instituted for their benefit. The faith of the people of Texas stand pledged to the preservation of a republican form of government, and subject to this limitation only, they have at all times the inalienable right to alter, reform, or abolish their government in such manner as they may think expedient. So what that's saying is, guys, we get to regulate the government completely. We don't need their permission. We don't need an attorney's permission. We don't have to go to a court. or some committee to ask for permission for them to acknowledge our rights. And as a matter of fact, guess what? We're supposed to know our rights without them, so we don't have to go ask them to tell us if they trampled our rights. Because if we had to ask them to tell us if our rights are trampled, they'll do like the attorneys and say, I can't give you legal advice. Right? Oh, we gonna get jiggy. Watch this, watch this, watch this, watch this, watch this, watch this, watch this. Get ready. Watch DIS. Watch this. The citizens, number 27, the citizens shall have the right in a peaceable manner to assemble together for their common good and apply to those vested with the powers of government for redress of grievance. So guys, you get to come together and decide if the law was broken or somebody trampled your rights and you need redress of grievance. Redress is repairing or fixing that which was lost based on the government doing something stupid. So redress of grievance is you letting people know that your rights have been trampled, but he's saying you don't get to decide. How do I not get the right to decide if I have a right to come together to decide, assemble for the common good, apply for redress of grievance or other purposes like affidavits and stuff, by petition, address, like, what Trump does when he goes and address the nation, let them know the state, let them know what's wrong, let them know what's right. See, you write a notice to address the legislature, the government, or remonstrance, those monster things that we drop smoke on based on the teaching of powerful men like the dear Chris Hallett, who's not with us anymore, killed by people who hung with this same Michael Cadena clown. These people will get information from you, let you help them, let you build them up, make money on their pages off of your hard work. And then you get these clowns who have no loyalty, who sees that something goes on wrong with them and they feel the need to attack. They get into a case where they're fighting the battle, they get punched a little bit. They get a little slap on the arm. See, this is why I don't let people go into battle without teaching them line upon line upon line, precept upon precept, precept upon precept. Here a little, there a little. Because clowns who will not put in the freaking work are soft and not ready for the battles that we fight in. See, they want to go and have battle, but they don't want to deal with the basic foundations of law. They want to go in a courtroom and get mad when a judge who's a bar attorney hides their rights when God already told you what they were going to do. And guys, let me tell you, this happens when you get information from people, copy and paste, and don't study. Now, guys, I got to let y'all hear this documentary. I got to let y'all hear some of this conversation between this guy named Kirk Pendergrass, who does teach some good stuff in the law at times. I don't get along with him because of his attitude. He has an angry attitude, an angry spirit. The Bible tells me not to make friends with an angry man, so that's why I don't deal with the dude. Now, he does tell the truth about a lot of things, though, right? But what I'm gonna let y'all see is I got into the fight of helping people get their kids back by using the law, and y'all have witnessed all the people saying it happened for them. But this guy is going after a guy named Kirk who teaches. And I want y'all to pay very close attention on how this guy is going to explain some things about how certain things happened for him. But he's going to be begging for this guy's documents because he wants to get all of his documents without studying himself, without reading for himself, and without watching the videos that this guy Kirk did thousands of hours of. So you want to know the law, but you don't want to spend the time. Now, guys, when y'all realize that, when y'all come at me and y'all say, David, if you know the law, why don't you just show me the answer right here? I'm like, first of all, it is your duty to study to show yourself approved, to be able to be a workman, rightly dividing the word of truth. To rightly divide the word of truth, you must study and see for yourself what I say and know. So if I got a video out there with thousands of hours of video, and you won't look at it, but you're going to get mad at me because I don't tell you and cut corners for you, you're not freaking serious about the fight. You're not serious about the fight. You gonna hear this guy say he ain't got time to be checking into what this guy has put on video. Just give him the answer in the documents so he can copy and paste them and send them out. Didn't the problem come? Didn't the problem come because this guy just copy and pasted documents and put them in somebody's court case? I'm gonna let y'all hear a little bit of this. I'm gonna turn off my mic when I'm playing the audio so it don't mess up. And then I'm gonna turn up my phone so I can see if I need to hit the loop back button and turn it off so you guys can hear clearly. So you're not gonna hear my voice. So I'm gonna play this for you guys. I need you guys to hear this because you will understand. Michael is a guy, Jared. I'm going to let you guys hear what this guy is saying so you can get the understanding of why I fight the way I fight, why I don't play with people in the groups, why I hear them say stupid stuff like, Dave, do you really care for us if you're not going to give us all the answers right now the way we want it so we can hurry up and go turn it in without us having to study or look at it? This is why I have membership groups where if you want to freaking not listen to 5,000 hours worth of audio, right, you could just freaking go and come in the group with us and I'll explain everything in detail, specific subject by specific subject, and knock it out the park so you can see for yourself and really know. I don't play with this knowledge junk. People can die over playing. Now notice the hypocrisy in this young man, and I might stop it every once in a while, but listen to this, guys. Let's check this out.
What's up, everybody? You're watching Dad versus CPS. Michael here. Okay, so how's it going, everybody? And I want to present to you a pretty cool video with me and Kirk Pendergrass. Okay. We had a conversation with him yesterday, right? The whole issue was, right, I had made a post on Facebook, several posts really on Facebook, talking about David Straight's document, right? The affidavit of repudiation and how it didn't work. Okay. And I've had several people jump on my Facebook, and start commenting and then block me like David Jose. That's another subject. Okay. But Kirk Pendergrass started commenting on my post, engaging in a conversation with me, and he started it off. To me, I took it very disrespectful, right? Saying things like I didn't know proper due process of law and whatnot. And I will put the link to my Facebook post in the description. Okay. But in the meantime, okay, I just want to let people to know, right, that if you're going to engage in my Facebook and you're going to be engaging like that, okay, welcome to my YouTube channel, okay, because you know what, Kirk Pendergrass, although he does provide very useful information, okay, I didn't think that it was grounds for him to start disrespecting me, trying to say I didn't know any due process of law, when he wasn't able to even effectively defend himself at one time when he was representing as counsel or assistance of counsel, right, for some guy named Casey, because he went to jail for contempt for that. Okay, and I will post that video at the end of this video. Okay, but in the meantime, okay, he's the one that reached out to me, right? Because after a good conversation on my Facebook post, okay, he started calling me, right? And that went on for like about an hour and a half, right? And that was the first phone call, and then it didn't end too good, and he hung up. But then he called back again, okay? And somewhere around the 30-something minute mark, okay, I took it upon myself to start recording the entire conversation because I realized, I'm like, dude, this is Dad versus CPS. This is Michael Cadena and Kirk Pendergrass going at it. Like, you know what I mean? And so this is something that I think that most people would like to enjoy to hear, okay? And if Kirk Pendergrass is watching this video, okay, don't take offense to it, okay? Really don't, okay? Even though you did block me, just unblock me, okay? I'm not trying to start, you know, fights and arguments and become enemies with everybody. That's not my intention, okay? So all I'm trying to do is bring awareness to real topics. I just want people to know what works and what doesn't. And in this case, I was kind of upset because, you know, he was trying to help me with our due process when it didn't seem like he knew how to defend himself with his own due process. So, but like I said, that video will be in the end where he actually goes to jail, right? And then I'll go ahead and throw in another video where the same argument with the judge, right? Where I was helping my friend Jojo. I just want y'all to see the comparison of what happened, okay? And I want to give David Straight some credit also, okay? Even though we're kind of upset with him right now. I will say this though, okay? There was one time David Straight told me how to respond to a judge whenever they tell you they're gonna hold you in contempt, okay? And David Straight taught me a method when they threaten you with contempt. Tell the judge, are you threatening me with contempt? Are you ruling from the bench? Is that what you're doing? Okay, and it worked. Okay. So there's something that does work from David Straight. I will give him that credit. Okay, but whatever. This post is about Kirk Pendergrass and Michael Cadena. Enjoy.
The principles of mathematics. Neither you or I, no matter how we feel, 2 + 2 = 4 every time, because the principles, the maxims of mathematics dictate the correct answer every time. Regardless of our opinions, how we feel, I don't care how you feel. 2 + 2 = 4 every day, all day long, 24/7, 365 days a year. So when you start citing maxims of law, you really start kicking their ass, because you can't rebut a fundamental.
Okay, guys, so real quick, I want you guys to notice that this guy is fighting against Kirk, but he tells now that David Straight taught him what to do when you're going against a judge. So David Straight taught him how, when you're fighting a judge and they're getting ready to give you contempt, how to beat them. And his clown anus is attacking Kirk because Kirk got arrested because Kirk didn't do what David Straight said do. So think about this. He's saying Kirk must be wrong because Kirk got arrested. But at the same time, he's saying David Straight is wrong because his stuff must not work because he didn't have the right reaction in a federal court. But at the same time, he's saying that David Straight did teach him how to fight a judge who's trying to give you contempt charges. And he just said he proved that it worked because it didn't happen to him. But notice David Straight had to teach him. So it didn't come from his own skill. It came from David Straight. I'm going to play the audio for y'all again.
Principle of law.
That's true.
This rules above law. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. It really does.
This is why Chris and I spent hours. One night we were on there for like 6.5 hours on the phone, reading through maxims of law out of the back of Black's Law Dictionary. We put together a list of some kick-ass maxims of law. Call it the short list. I'm telling you, man, this learning how to write paperwork and what to use and what to cite, it's so hard of a concept to grasp that, you know, even I like the Miller versus U.S. and the Murdoch versus Pennsylvania. But think about it. Do I need Murdoch versus Pennsylvania to say, well, you can't convert a right into a privilege license and attach a fee to it? It's a fundamental principle. It should be common sense. That's theft of my right. That's property. My rights are property. You're stealing my rights. You can't take my right and then turn around and sell it back to me. Miller versus U.S., the claim and exercise of right cannot be converted into a crime. Well, duh.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm exercising a right, that's law. And anything that comes in conflict with that would be void for any effect for fraud. What do I need Miller versus U.S. for? I don't. It's already common sense that you can't do that.
But how do you address that to them in writing, in court? And I know you keep saying, and everyone keeps telling me too, that you're not supposed to be in that court, but obviously you are. When they take your kid from you, if you don't show up, you'll be held in default. So obviously, you have to respond somehow.
Okay, again, I just gave it to you. Notice of special appearance objecting to the personal jurisdiction. That code or regulations is actually what they're acting under, which is all fraud to begin with, because natural rights and civil rights have absolutely nothing to do with the establishment, support, or management of government.
And do you
give them personal jurisdiction over man? They only have personal jurisdiction over corporations. So when you file your notice of special appearance objecting to the personal jurisdiction, and I make the statement in there, man, creation of God, one of the people of the territory of Idaho, how are they going to rebut that? They can't. So I'm creating my record, that I'm putting them on notice that I am a man. Okay? I'm establishing who I am, what my status and standing is. I do that through that document. Not all this other crap.
And do you have
Anavon Rights and David Strait is into. It's all fucking fraud. It's bullshit. I've already exposed Anavon Rights for her paperwork and her allegiances to the Pope and what she's doing, because what's really going on is London, Vatican, and the DC, is the Tri-City states, is being taken down. Okay?
She was.
What they're trying to do is they're trying to get people back in under the Vatican. Okay, because they're being shut down. So everything that paperwork does puts you right back in to the same ship we're fighting against and trying to get out of.
Yeah.
It's all fraud to begin with. Why would I need to do that fucking paperwork when it's fraud from its inception? I do my notice of special appearance objecting to the personal jurisdiction. How are you going to rebut that?
And do you have a sample?
Now, guys, I want y'all to realize that not everything that Kirk is saying is 100% clear and legit too. Kirk and David Strait have had some issues too, right? I don't deal with Kirk like that, right? I don't personally like how Kirk gets down. Kirk has some knowledge about a lot of things he said. We just don't get down like that, right? So notice that this guy, Mike, is recording Kirk, and I don't think Kirk knows. And what he's doing is he's trying to get Kirk to just give him a document that will tell him what to do or that he can copy and paste. And this is what I talk to y'all about. All these so-called law people who are copy and paste warriors and soldiers who don't freaking teach people what they're doing so that you can grasp it. There is nowhere in the nation, guys, where you're going to get one-on-one access to really understand deeply exactly what you're doing with all your questions answered when people don't really know what they're doing and they're just copy and pasting. So you got this guy like Mike who owns this Dad versus CPS page where he feels like he wants people to follow him. He's actually the first person to tell me I should go on YouTube. I was crazy on Facebook, 5,000 friends, dropping truth. We were having 50 and 60,000 people on videos that were 3 hours long, teaching and breaking down the law detail by detail. Facebook took it from me. They were so pissed. I don't even have a picture of my kids no more because they were on Facebook. So notice, guys, what you're going to find is this kid is asking Kirk for his stuff. Now, he already used my videos and posted them on YouTube, and I didn't care. I'm like, get the word out to everybody. He's monetizing his page off of videos that we have. When he goes around and gets donations, he gets donation because he's using stuff he learned from us. And now he's stuck because he ran into the real world where the big leagues are, where a federal judge blocks you. See, I tried to do a case through a federal judge and tried to use what I learned from some of the people on the lower level. When I did that, what ended up happening was the federal judge they gave me and three or four other people was the same judge married to the woman taking kids in CPS court in the local court. So the county court, Maricopa County, taking people's kids, every single person who went up that I know to have a federal case, the same judge named Tucci, who was married to somebody in the lower level court, who works in the juvenile court, gets the cases. So you're supposed to have randomization in cases in the federal. So I realized, oh, okay, the federal is behind closed doors. You never really get to see the judge. You're not going to just walk up to him and talk to him. They're shielded. So what's going to happen is the judges are going to try to block the law and block the truth. So when I had a federal judge kick my stuff out, I realized exactly what the freak they were doing. I'm cool. I'm like, okay, now they're going to block me on this level. I'm going to take it to the next level and bring that freaking smoke. I'm going to continue. Well, here's what you're going to find. Most people in the law world lost their cases in the private tribunal, CPS. Chris Carlin, we'll hit it up later. Or Lily. So think about this. So we deal with the CPS tribunal, and they are fraudulent entities, like Kirk is saying. It's fraud. It's true. But Kirk doesn't deal with the type of law to get kids back. David Straight deals with a general type of law to teach people a lot of different things. I deal directly with CPS and foster care and government officials and going directly after people face to freaking face, right? And understanding the law that binds the government officials all the way across the board. That's what I deal with. So these people had a case and they all did what they had to do with their cases and then stopped or focused on other things. When I got to the Supreme Court of Arizona, I dropped smoke on them and let them kick out a habeas corpus with evidence showing they committed fraud in it because I wanted to put it in a public court. I didn't care if they listened or not. I was preparing it for years down the road when y'all hear this and take it before a grand jury. Now, let's go deeper. So the federal court blocked my case and tried to act like they didn't understand, they couldn't do it, and they need to kill it or whatever. I don't even look at it. But what you have to understand is they all the cases that we took to the federal court had the same judge, which is impossible. That's like Dominion. Now, taking this to the next level, what we have to do is understand people quit at that point. So they realize the federal courts ain't helping us. The attorneys won't help us. We can't pay the attorneys any amount of money to fix this for us. We can't get the government legislature to help us. So then I started doing remonstrance, which I learned remonstrance from Chris Hallett, right? Chris Hallett and Kirk Pendergrass used to have a show together. I took what they taught, right? Understood what was good, understood what was bad, threw away the bad crap like the Bible says do. And I brought it all together to fight with affidavits and notices because I realized that we do these things through affidavit and notice. And I realized that nobody taught the people to build their hearts and soul by God and to make them take action. Chris Hallett and Kirk taught thousands of people. But what you got to understand is when you have thousands of people, you have to build their heart up, and you only going to do that by giving them the faith of Jesus Christ. So people say, David, why are you teaching the Bible? And what makes you think you're going to get all these kids back when nobody else in the CPS movement does? I said, because I know God. God ain't going to help you in the court. No, God is going to give me complete victory. And I promised everybody on Facebook. And then God let me do it. So now everybody knows Dave has brought home a ton of kids. How did it happen? Because I did not stop where my pain was. I did not stop where the judge thought he would be able to beat me by blocking my cases. I didn't take no for an answer. I went and told the people because I realized that the people are the ones who have all power. I realized that the Bible said that when the people is one, nothing is impossible for them that they imagine to do. So what did I have to do? I had to build the people. This is why I teach the people with everything I have. Now, let's continue to listen, guys. I'm going to turn off my mic. I'm going to turn on the video again.
This document that I could.
Sure. I just sent you the cases right there. You can go make a public records request and get the copy of that paperwork.
But you don't have one personally you can send as a PDF?
Well, sure.
I would really appreciate that. I want to study. I want to study, Kirk. I really do. Right?
I don't particularly care to be called a fraud and a phony. So we're going to work with people and help people that don't think that I know what the hell I'm talking about, that I'm a phony and I'm a fraud.
You've made your
And I
point.
just gave you a PDF document that proves that E-Claus, Christopher Hallett, was working with Nathan Altenhofen, and it's section 28 on page, 32 or whatever it was there, of that PDF, references the shutdown of Ector County Court. And I sent you a link to the transfer order from Ector County Clerk of the Court's website. You can pull that sucker up yourself and see it from their website.
Well, I'll take a look at it, but it's just faster whenever it's just available, like on a Google Drive, or you just send it through Facebook. You know what I mean? Having me running around in
But
circles.
I just did that.
I got the one from E-Claus, and that's the one I was telling you about. Well, David's using the same words that Chris was using. I got that one, but I haven't seen the special appearance one.
No, I know. What I'm talking about is you started calling me a phony and a fraud, because what I was telling you. Is this going to go away or what? I can't even shut it down. What's going on?
But come on, man. Okay, so we're just gonna go in circles with that, okay?
Well, I need to know that you have confidence in me that what I'm telling you is true.
Well, I mean, Kirk. I have been watching your channel with Chris since the longest time. I mean, come on, and yes, I do look up to you, and I do look up to David Straight and everyone else. But it's like now it just seemed like my Jenga tower had gotten so high, and everybody on it just fell off. That's the way it just felt. You know what I mean? And so
I'm going to tell you right now. There ain't nobody out there that's teaching what Chris and I were teaching the people. Nobody.
Y'all shared a lot of useful information, but what needs to be shared are the actual documents that have been used out of that information. Whatever y'all
we showed them on the show.
Well, I mean,
You say you've been watching and you saw them. Not only that, we've had Nathan Altenhofen on there at least twice that I know of. And those videos are still up.
What's his name? Nathan what?
Nathan Altenhofen.
But you said that you don't even know if he got his kid back.
No, I don't.
So
He had to go into hiding because those people want to fucking kill him for what he's done. He took down that whole fucking shit show of a family court in Ector County, Texas. It's been abolished. It's gone.
But how many?
That judge got removed.
But
I
how-
don't know what happened to the sheriff.
But how many kids have y'all actually gotten back?
You're totally missing it, dude. We shut down an entire family court,
Okay.
corrupt court
So-
in Ector County, Texas.
Okay,
And I'm providing
but I understand.
evidence of that.
But I understand that, and I know people are without jobs now. But still, how many kids got returned back to their families is what I'm asking.
I don't know. Okay, this went through Congress, dude. This wasn't an individual case. This affected everybody's case. And I'm trying to find the other document that says bulk transfer of over 1,250 some cases to the district court scheduled for dismissal on December 21st, 2018. And if you don't show up, your case is going to be dismissed. How many CPS cases do you think actually showed up to argue their case when the fraud was being exposed?
Okay, but still,
I don't know the outcome of over 1,250 cases.
So,
I'm sorry, Michael.
but it is possible that 1,250 cases got dismissed, and all those parents never got their kids back, and the case was dismissed. That could be a possibility, right?
They would have gotten their kids back, but those also included divorces. So some of the divorces are they still.
Okay, so let me help you all to see something, because this is very deep.
So what y'all got to understand is this kid, as I told y'all, has been running around getting documents from David Straight, getting documents from me, getting knowledge from me, getting videos from me. And he's posing as if he really wants to fight and really wants to go at it. And he'll give his all to really have something happen. The problem is he's not giving his all. The problem is he doesn't want to go in all the way. He needs somebody else to do it for him. He wants to run around and get donations from people. But as y'all see, he's saying, Kirk, can you send me your document? David Straight, he actually taught me that. Oh, I'm showing David Jose stuff. You're not willing to give your life and everything you got to learn how to fight yourself. You want to blame your failures on everybody else. When I went into the federal court and they tried to shut my stuff down, did I stop? Did I just say, oh, well, I guess it didn't work in the Supreme Court. I guess it didn't work in the federal court. I guess there's nothing else I can do, right? Now, notice, guys, he's going after Kirk Pendergrass about how many kids come back. Kirk don't know a dang thing about kids coming back. They wanted to destroy the system. But Kirk and Chris Hallett used to tell people, if you want a kid to come back quick, you probably should deal with Dave because he's the best at getting kids back immediately. I don't always get every kid back, but I got a ton back, right? And I had to suffer and lose mine first. So this is the real fight, y'all. This is the real deal. You're going to go through hell. You're going to go through hell trying to learn and fighting and standing and going against wicked people. And it's going to be on God's time when he makes you a monster. But this guy is not a teacher. He's a cut and paste specialist that is mad because he can't get things his way. So when the judge calls him a name, he turns on everybody else. Because he never did the work himself. He never studied the documents that David Straight gave him to see what was in them. So how do you respond to somebody when you never learn? See, this is the same guy who came to Arizona. He asked me to pick him up from somewhere. I said, from where? Who's with you? Oh, there's some motorcycle guys. They're trying to kill me. Bro, you living with some motorcycle guys and they're trying to kill you and you want me to come there? Sounds real shady, and I'm a Negro from the hood. I ain't really playing that. Well, let's go deeper. This dude goes and hooks up with these motorcycle people. I asked, how'd you hook up with them? You're not even from Arizona. He's from Texas. He says, oh, a lady named Lisa that we know in the movement did it. So this woman, Lisa, who was a married woman, went to go visit Michael in Texas, and they were talking about being together. Lisa then gets him a ticket. This simp let this woman who is in a position where they're trying to take her kids and vulnerable, he's thinking with his little wee-wee, he allows her to pay a plane ticket for him to come to Arizona. She picks him up, drops this dude off with some motorcycle guys who, guess what? I had a CPS group and these motorcycle guys, she adds into my group. So she's working together with dirty people. She adds them to my group. Michael Dina calls me and says, hey, Dave Jose, I need your help. I'm in a dangerous place with some dangerous people, and they're trying to get me. They're trying to kill me. And then I find out, I'm like, well, how did you get here? How did you get with them? And he's not answering the questions clearly. You know, I'm from the hood, right? I've given that interrogation work. I'm like, so how did you hook up with these people? Oh, Lisa gave them to me. She dropped me off there. So you let her drop you off with some bikers. She added into the group, and now you want me to help you and come get you. Oh, okay. Well, let's go deeper. So why you want me to come get you from these people if they're dangerous? Well, Dave, these are very dangerous people. And Lisa added them into your group, your Facebook group to fight CPS. Wait. So you got a motorcycle group, which a lot of these groups end up real traffickers, real killers, hitman for government workers. Like I told you, I wanted to kill me before. And they dropped these people in my group. And now that they're dropped in my group, you allowed them to get in the group. You knew they were in the group. You knew she put them in there. They ain't got nothing to do with the CPS fight. But now you're telling me she did it when you want something from me and you're mad at her. So you use this chick to try to get some action. You trying to get some good. You trying to get your virginity off. But then after you do that to this vulnerable woman, she don't want to deal with you. She drops you off like a bad habit. So now you're with the guys who's supposed to be the killers, but you're trying to set me up to go hang with them and pick you up. Yeah, okay, dude, I'm from the hood. I've seen a lot of people die. I know how this works. I know how this works. So guys, let's go deeper. So notice this guy doesn't know what to do. He's not fighting for the people. He's asking for documents, but he's mad and he's calling me a fraud. He's saying, David, well, you have this type of thing where people are paying you for memberships. I say, yeah, dang Skippy. That's true. Yeah. He said, well, you're charging CPS parents. I said, no, go look at my last couple of videos. There's people who won CPS cases who are rich, paid me zero. There's no CPS worker, parent that can tell you they're paying me to learn the law. None. What's happening, guys, and you have to understand is the deep state attorneys work alongside with government officials and traffickers together. They know Hillary. They help put the laws together and traffic the kids. And they want to kill people who really fight. So this guy is now trying to discredit David Straight, discredit Kirk. I don't even deal with Kirk, but I can tell you Kirk tells a lot of stuff that's true and shows it. I don't get along with him. And there's some stuff that happened that was said, and somebody who's part of my camp was on a call by mistake and heard about people saying, I wouldn't be surprised if David gets his neck slit and how they're jealous of me and this, that, and the other, you know, talking about my death, that I'm just like, okay, well, never talk to y'all again. Clowns, right? But nobody can deny that I continue to move forward with new victory and teach it and show it in a way that nobody else does, day after day after day, period. Because I'm really in the fight. I'm really the one they want to kill. I'm really the one that got to bring that smoke. And I don't leave people's lives to somebody else. I don't teach David Straight's documents to people who come to me new and say, can you tell me about David Straight's documents? I say, did you go study them and see what they said for yourself? Can you prove them? Don't ask me. I might not have seen everything that he has saw. So it's not good for me to go and ask or try to tell about everybody's process when I haven't studied it. I speak on what I know. Everything that David Straight said that I could verify, I know. I'll talk about that, but other stuff I don't talk about. And if I find a way to do something that's more expedient, meaning it could be done quicker, I do it that way. I don't do 100-page repudiation for status. I'm sorry, 30-page repudiation for status. I've done it before, but I realized I could do it in 5 minutes. So that's what I teach everybody else. And there's people on here who can verify. Now, and don't be too mad at Kirk. Like a lot of people get killed in a movement. Kirk Pendergrass' partner, Chris Hallett, who was my very good friend, who wanted to do some stuff with me in Congress, he died. He got shot by people he was helping. So I want y'all to see the real life way this thing goes. The family movement is one of the toughest movements in the world. And there's people in the family movement who are angry because they got hurt. And I know that it's like they died because they lost their kids. God has gave me a peace to be able to fight in the midst of the storm. But that doesn't make it out of my responsibility to fight for the people who are too hurt to fight. There's some people in the family movement who hate my guts because they don't understand why God let me do what I do. Some hate my guts because they don't know if it can work or because it hasn't happened for them the way that they want in their own case without me. So they're mad. That doesn't mean they don't deserve to have their kids. That doesn't mean I don't have the responsibility of fighting for them. You ain't gotta like me in any movement, but I will fight and bring that freaking smoke so you can reap the benefits. I will. And everybody sees it now. My enemies are at the table watching me feast before God with powerful people like the Affidavit Mamas, Josh Barnett, Josue, Brandon, and all the powerful people from Georgia, and Jonah, and Big D, and Carla, and Aaron, right? All these people around the country, we're enjoying Remedy. And nobody can say it's not happening, but people are trying to attack. So I want y'all to show y'all how the real world works. People are setting up to kill you at the same time you're giving your life to save people's families. So let's listen to some more. I want y'all to hear this foolishness. This is crazy.
Need a divorce. They're wanting a divorce.
I
So
guess
some of them are.
I guess the only way we would actually know is if we actually had a docket list of all the people that were in that case, in those cases,
Right.
and we actually talked to every single one of those parents. Is the docket list still available of all those cases that were dismissed?
Dude, your guess is as good as mine, right? I mean, again, all we have is what they did. We don't know whose cases were what.
And what state?
We don't have that information.
What state was this in? In Texas.
Hector County, Texas.
Well, I guess I can do some research and find out if any kids got returned. I guess I can do that.
And it would have been right there at December of 2018. So if you can find some sort of court docket and record of all of those cases that were dismissed, you could look up each individual case number. You could find out the parties, name of the parties to the case, and try and find them and ask them questions. But see, we don't have time to do all that. And we're not going to waste our time trying to do all that to prove to some Joe Schmuckatelli out here that actually happened.
Well, Kirk, I mean, if it is a big deal, because if that worked in y'all's case, then all we got to do is shut down all these other courts, and then we can take the kids home by the massive.
Right? Yes. That is what we're trying to teach you. But see, you have to comprehend how our form of government works and which branch of the government has what powers and what rights we have to instruct them to discharge the duties of their office to achieve this. Look at the paperwork or the PDF file that I sent you. Who was that addressed to?
I'm gonna look at it.
Very top.
U.S. Congress.
Right. That's the legislative branch, not the judicial.
Is that a court? Right. Is that a court?
The legislature, dude.
I know, Kirk. But is that a court? I mean, you both know that answer is no.
Yes. So how? It's called the Court of Justice, where we establish justice.
Well, it's where they pass bills. We all know this, right? It's where they write new bills in.
Where we made the Constitution.
Yes.
It's where we make statutes.
Every house does have, every state does have their own house of representatives. And this is true. Everybody writes their own bills. And obviously y'all went to the United States Congress, right? So obviously that's the big house.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, it says in the preamble, we the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice. This is the preamble, which means this is a reservation of rights and powers, and how all this works, everything that comes after this. Where do we establish justice? In the legislature. How did we make them that Bill of Rights? Wasn't that in a constitutional convention? Under Article 5, Section 1?
That's right. That's where they signed it.
That's right. That's how we make law in our republic. It's got to be in a constitutional convention because prima facie evidence, the original 11th, 12th, and 13th articles, these are not amendments, they're articles. It's contract law here.
But Kirk, we can talk about all this stuff and it's all great stuff. But are you willing to help me and John still so that we can show the world exactly what to do?
We've already done that. Watch the videos. Have you watched my educational series? That's right there on Facebook and YouTube still.
But I'm asking you one-on-one. Would you be willing to help me and John so that we can show others exactly a winning case? That's all I'm asking. You don't have to be.
I'm already doing it on my own, and I have showed you a winning case.
Okay, so can you just answer me yes or no?
You're asking me in an impossible thing.
It's not impossible. I'm trying to help John. We're asking for your help.
Okay, what help are you asking me for?
To show the world exactly how we're going to get his kid back using everything that you're saying.
That doesn't make sense. What are you asking me to do?
To work with me and John Whittington so we can show the world exactly how to do this process. To get his kid back, of course. To get his kid back, of course.
No. To do what?
to have his kid returned, how to petition, how to everything it is that you're saying.
No. Okay. Let's go to mechanic shop. You go into the mechanic shop and you go, hey, I need my car fixed. Can you just teach me how to do it? That's what you're asking me. Well, what is it you want me to teach you?
How to get his kid back. I mean, do you know how?
No, how to fix the car is what you're asking me to do. And I'm telling you, have you watched my videos? Because I've already done taught this. And it's in those videos. So instead of me sitting here for 16 and a half hours explaining what's already done in videos that's been out there since, I don't know, late 2000.
How many videos, man? You went live on Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays. I mean, how am I supposed to find?
There is an educational series. There are 8 videos. It's on Facebook and YouTube.
And each one of those videos is almost over 2 hours long, Kirk.
Right. How long do you think it's going to take to teach you how to do this?
Just as long as you tell me to do. Like if I ask you a question, you answer it, and then you just guide me through whatever.
Okay.
Look, straight up. I just want to document, okay, what it is that I'm doing with whoever wants to help me. You don't gotta help me. If you don't want to help us, then just say it, okay?
I do.
Well,
I've been trying to help people for 5 years.
well, then please work with us so that we can document
So I
this.
need you to listen. Why would I spend 16 and a half hours of my time that I've already spent putting in a video that you can watch at your pleasure and at your leisure without me having to be there?
So what video is it that's gonna show us what to do in the next step? What video is that?
See, you're thinking that this is super simple and it's just, well, we just do this.
I mean, when you go to an attorney or any type of counsel or assistance of counsel, you explain to them what's going on and they hear you out and then they help you out. So I mean, all we're doing is asking. Well, actually, I'm asking for your help.
How much do you pay for that?
I'm not gonna.
How much do you pay for that?
You know what? I don't care about money. I don't. And if you're one of those people that are gonna be
No, that's
charging
not the
people,
question.
if
That's not
you're
the
gonna if you're one of those people that are gonna just be charging me and John for what you're gonna do,
Those videos are out there for free.
okay, well then help us for free if you
My
don't
videos
mind.
For 5 years have been out there for free. So who in the hell am I charging?
Well, what was your question that you just
That's
asked
a bunch
me?
of shit fucking made up,
What
dude.
what were you about to ask me? Finish what you were about to say about the money. Go on.
Okay. What I want to get to is how much do people pay these fucking bar members to help them, to help defend them supposedly, and do this fucking bar paperwork?
I don't know. Some
Thousands of
attorneys
dollars,
charge
right?
about $10,000 just for a retainer fee and don't do a damn thing. Me and you both know that. So what? Do you want
Yes.
$10,000?
No. See, that's not what I was talking about. And that wasn't the point that I was trying to make.
Okay, you know what? How much is it going to cost to have your assistance? Is that what you want to hear?
Go watch my educational series, dude. 1 through 8. It's 8 freaking videos.
I'm not gonna be wasting my time on some educational videos, okay? Because I got so much content on my YouTube also.
What is
Okay.
the difference between sitting here talking to me and watching a video?
Because it seems like you don't know exactly how to explain this to me. It's real simple. Either you know it or you don't.
Excuse me? Yes, I do. And I've already put it in fucking videos, dude, so that you can watch it at any time and I don't have to be there.
What video is that? What video is that? Please give me a time. Please give me the name of the video of what's gonna help us get John Whittington's kid back. I mean, you're right here on the phone with me right now.
There are 8 episodes. 8 episodes in an educational series. Okay? You have to have all of this knowledge, dude. This isn't something that I can just tell you, do this, and that's it.
It sure it is. Sure it is.
If it was that simple, dude, I'd already be doing it.
Dude, all you're doing in those educational videos is going over the Constitution and all this and that. And what does that have to do with getting his kid back? You're not talking about any document. You're not talking about any documents in those videos. You're not.
Yes, I most certainly am.
Okay, well, like which document?
How about notice of special appearance? It's in episode 2. Did you watch it? The shit you're fucking asking me for is already out there for free.
And I don't even have to watch the video because you can just send me a PDF, and you still haven't sent it to me.
Oh, dude. We can sit here and talk about how to ride a bicycle, but until you go out there and figure it out for yourself, you're not going to be able to ride a bicycle.
That has nothing to do with what we're even talking about. That made no sense at all.
I can talk to you, and I can talk to you, and I can talk to you.
And you're not giving any useful information, but preaching all this knowledge that we can all find out on our own, obviously. But that's not what I'm not trying to hear a lecture. I'm trying to hear real shit that works. You feel me?
And I just gave you some of that, dude.
You showed me what you and Chris did. Fine. Okay. But that has nothing to do with getting kids back. That has nothing to do with getting kids back. It really doesn't.
And if you seem to think that you can comprehend that shit, props to you, buddy. You're gonna have to learn some shit.
I mean, I'm trying to see what documents you're willing to provide so that we can make use of it and to see if it works. But I think that you're probably scared because you think I'm going to put it on blast and discredit you. And that's not even what I'm trying to do.
Oh, I ain't afraid of that, dude. If you fucking fail doing the following due process of law and the rules of procedure, that's on you, not me.
You're trying for me to be convinced that you know due process better than me when you couldn't even present it to the judge and you got arrested and thrown in jail. Why didn't you explain? Why didn't you explain any of that to the judge? Why not?
Explain what?
Of your counsel and whatever it is that you were trying to tell him before he threw you in jail. Why didn't it work for you? Why?
Because they're corrupt. I filed.
Okay, guys, now we really gotta deal with that one right there. So I want you guys to catch what happened. So Kirk understood some things in the law. Kirk went to a court case to help somebody who was suffering. And what happened is a judge arrested Kirk for assisting someone as counsel. Kirk did not say I'm a bar association member. He said I'm assisting him as counsel. If you look in the law, in the constitutions, it tells you that you can assist people as counsels. Groups can also be there to help their friends if they are learned in the law. Well, what happened is the judge who wants to be dirty just arrested Kirk. Now, guys, understand, people get arrested all the time, even when they're not breaking the law. Martin Luther King was arrested for standing against corruption and for rights that were guaranteed to him in the law, right? Rosa Parks was arrested for standing up for what was her right, but the law did not accept it when they did dirty things. So what we must understand is just because somebody gets arrested does not mean that they are breaking the law. It just means that we're dealing with corrupt people who also stole John's kid. So if your friend has a case where his kid got stolen, apparently you believe that the government officials did wrong. And if there's thousands of people who got their kids stolen without court, you realize these people are doing wrong. Me and Kirk don't even get down with each other, but I'm not going to blame him for getting arrested when he was trying to help. I understand that's what happens. But notice, Mike tries to make the argument, oh, look at you. You got arrested. Therefore, you don't know nothing about law. Dude, people get arrested doing the right thing all the time. People got their kids stolen. But remember, Michael Cadena admitted in the beginning that he learned how not to get arrested by David Straight. When he had the fight that he had with the judge, even though he wasn't physically there, he shut the judge down using what David Straight taught him. So he's clowning one guy while using information from another guy. So you're clowning somebody who's trying to help people, but then you understand that David Straight, the one you're dogging out all over the place now, is the one who taught you
how to even fight in that situation. You didn't have some great remedy that you came up with that was great that helped you. You freaking learned from David Straight, and you're a freaking clown. All right, I'm gonna play some more. I'm gonna shut off my mic.
Paperwork, dude. And I did explain it to the judge. You just didn't listen.
I even showed you a video of me and the judge. Okay. And when the judge threatened you with contempt, all you had to tell the judge was, Judge, are you threatening me with contempt? Are you ruling from the bench? Is that what you're doing? You already knew how to respond to the judge, and yet you still didn't do that.
What did I say?
What did you say? Tell me.
Well, I thought you watched the video.
I did. I even shared it on Facebook, but you tell me what you said to the judge. I know what I said.
I said, did you read the judicial notice and memorandum of law? Well, sure I did, and I understand that. Now, there's some key words for you.
And he
said,
still...
You're acting under color of law, because they kept asking him to cite the law he was acting
He
under.
still
And I
threw
cited
you
the
in
First
jail.
Amendment.
He still threw you in jail. He still threw you in jail.
That's right.
And how long did you spend in jail?
Take your kids? Huh?
How long
Don't
did...
these people throw other people in jail? They're corrupt, dude.
Well, you seem to know due process of law, but you didn't know how to defend it.
Who said I'm done? Who said that's the end of it?
I mean...
just created my right to a cause of action to go after him.
And what happened to that judge anyways? Was he thrown in jail?
Not yet.
Oh my God.
What? You seriously think that that's the end of it?
I mean, I don't know. I just know that I saw you trying to help someone, and that was very kind of you. It really was. But it did nothing. It did nothing to help out him in his situation and put you in jail for contempt for I don't know how many days of jail you spent in there.
Two days.
And I'm not dogging you on that, but I'm just trying to point out the fact that you didn't know how to defend your due process at that time. So how am I supposed to be how am I supposed to be convinced that you're able to even help us with our due process of law?
If you're gonna try and use that I don't know anything,
I'm just saying.
you don't even understand the first fundamental principle of due process: notice and opportunity. I gave him notice. I afforded him the opportunity to do the right thing.
Did he acknowledge any of that?
Now becomes the court of record. That's the evidence that I take and file a criminal complaint and a petition to the legislature to abolish the frickin' bar.
Well, I hope all of that. I hope.
But see, that's part of that due process of law that you're accusing me of that I didn't do.
And,
But you don't know how that works.
But and when did that happen? Like in June, July? And have you done anything about that?
No, not yet. No. Well, technically speaking, yeah, I have. I have the criminal complaint drafted. I have the petition drafted. So right now we're still working on Casey's case, which he just had a hearing here Friday.
And how are you gonna use any of that if you're telling me before that you're not supposed to tell the judge anything? Are you supposed to just stay quiet?
The shit that you're trying to bring up, you seem to think I need to make all these other frivolous arguments. That's not a matter before the court. We were there for a
Kirk, listen to yourself.
preliminary hearing.
Kirk,
that
listen.
was the matter before the court.
Kirk, listen to yourself. You just told me earlier in a previous call that I'm not supposed to tell the judge anything or address anything. I mean, are we supposed to just stay quiet and not say nothing and take it all?
Oh, God, dude. You're taking things out of context.
No, that's exactly what you told me. Not to present anything to the judge. Did you not say that?
No, I did not.
Okay, so then what did you say?
Why don't you go back and read it? Because clearly you're having a memory.
I'm talking about the conversation we had earlier. You told me that you're not supposed to be arguing anything to the judge. You're not supposed to be filing documents and all this and that. And so then what? You just don't do anything and just take it?
Okay, let me clarify. Not with the judge. It goes to the other party.
Well, of course I know
The
proper
judge is
service.
not in the court. He's a referee on the outside.
Come on, Kirk. I know this. I know this for a fact. Okay, I already know this. Okay, of course I know about proper service. Okay, you serve the other side. You serve the other side, and you must show proper service of that.
Your arguments are made to the other party, not to the judge.
Of course we know this. If you file a lawsuit, come on, man, you're talking to me like if I'm a dummy. If I'm gonna file a lawsuit against someone, okay, I properly serve them notice of that with summons and whatever document it is that I filed, and I make sure that I can show the court proof of service. I know this. And a good way to do it, a good way to do this would be certified or registered mail, or a personal service with a notary service person, or someone over the age of 18. Come on, man, I know this process. And then we get that as a proof of service, filed it with the court, and then we send it to the court, and now your court can be heard. Come on, I know this.
Right. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And the judge, whatever you file, whatever you file, the judge sees anyways at court. I know this.
True. That's true.
Okay.
Okay.
So how do we
So why are you trying to confuse what happened with me when Casey? This is Casey's case.
I don't even know who Casey is.
Casey is the man I'm trying to assist.
Oh, in that video where you got arrested?
Yeah, that wasn't my case. That's Casey's case. I'm trying to provide assistance of counsel pursuant to the 6th Amendment or Article the 6th of the Bill of Rights.
But this is the same
We
thing.
have that right.
Okay, and I know that. You know that.
Okay.
But why did
So
you
that
go?
wasn't the matter before the court. There was no actual document filed arguing about whether or not I can provide assistance of counsel or not. That wasn't the matter before the court that day.
And did
We
he
were
get?
there for Casey's preliminary hearing. That's what the matter before the court was.
It was a preliminary hearing, and you went to jail on that.
Yeah.
all they were gonna do was just hear it out for the very first time.
Oh no, this was like the third or fourth time trying to do a preliminary hearing because we already filed a notice of special appearance objecting to the personal jurisdiction and an affidavit
And how did they respond
and a
to?
motion to dismiss.
And how did they respond to that?
They didn't.
So did you hold them into default
Default of what?
of not responding to what you filed? Did you not motion? Did you not motion for default summary judgment?
Well, actually, the prosecuting attorney did respond to the motion to dismiss, and I'll actually agree with some of the parts that he stated in there, which is that we're all subject to this, that, or the other, but there is no personal jurisdiction because he's not an elected official or appointed in a position of public trust, and they're having a hard time going to the motion to dismiss hearing. They've put this sucker off now 4 times.
But to be honest, I honestly feel like arguing all that crap isn't gonna get you anywhere. Look, the way I see it, look, if they want to play ball, okay, then just take them out on some type of a technicality, right? Improper service, quash for improper service or something. You know what I mean?
Those are the grounds for dismissal, dude. Insufficiency of service, of process.
Yeah.
That's one of the grounds for dismissal.
Maybe
Read Rule 12B.
And you know what? That's exactly what they used in John Whittington's case, right? A quash for improper service. Okay.
Bingo.
So maybe you can use
Why
that.
aren't we doing the same thing to them?
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. I've been saying that for years. It's like, wait a minute. When we go to sue them, what is the first thing that they file? Rule 12B6, motion to dismiss for failure to state a claim for which can be granted. Or, in this case, probably 12B4, I think it is, for insufficiency of service. Those are grounds for dismissal. You automatically lose because you violated due process of law. But the key here I'm trying to get people to understand, and this is in my videos if you've been watching, why aren't we doing the same thing? Why is that not the first thing that we're filing when they file a case against us?
Well, I mean, I like to make a video of this, you know?
I've got lots of videos of that.
And it's with proof that it works.
Did your buddy's case get dismissed?
Oh yeah, it got a motion to dismiss granted.
There's your proof it works.
No. It got dismissed as if they're not trying to hear any of it.
Because they asserted due process. Notice. Proper service. You didn't give proper notice. You lose. By fault. By your own fault.
Yeah, but here's the thing though. We did properly serve them and we filed that.
Okay. Did you file an objection to the motion to dismiss and assert the grounds and have your affidavit there?
But how can you do that when they dismissed it with prejudice?
No. You have 21 days to respond to their motion to dismiss with an objection.
Even when it says motion to dismiss granted with prejudice, even with that.
No. When they served you guys with the motion to dismiss,
No.
you have 21 days to respond to that. Did you respond to that?
Of course he did.
You responded with an objection to the motion to dismiss?
And he also...
And you rebutted everything in their motion to dismiss?
Yes, he did. He rebutted that he was a sovereign citizen and all that ideology that had been brought up and all this and that. I read his response. Okay. And they filed after that, they filed an order granting dismissal, right, for his case. And then they still called him a sovereign citizen and that he had a sovereign citizen ideology because of the documents from David Straight, the affidavit of repudiation, and because of none
of those documents belong in that court. That's not for that court to hear or even to see.
Well, that's exactly what David Straight had told us to do. He said that
David Straight doesn't know what the fuck he's doing, and I've said this over and over again to David Straight's face. This is why David Straight and I had a falling out right after we met out there in Minnesota, because he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing, and all that paperwork's a bunch of fucking fraud.
Well, that I agree.
Now, let me help y'all see what just happened, because Kirk and David Straight get into it with each other, or Kirk doesn't like David Straight. Now, let me help y'all see something. So this guy puts in documents in the court, the federal court, and Kirk says those documents don't belong in that court that David Straight is doing. So now Kirk is going to cuss about David Straight and say David Straight don't know what the F he's talking about, but Kirk is usually the one who thinks he knows more than everybody. It is what it is. But what I want y'all to realize is when you are, and this is a lesson for the people, when you are dealing with documents, you know when to use them, where to use them. The never perfect document that David Straight did and the repudiation goes to the federal government so they know that you're no longer claiming allegiance with them. Guys, that actually is legit because the people of America declared their independence from England when they got crazy. The people, and I showed in my webinar last night, have the right to disassociate with people and make league with others, period. You can do it all day and night. So it's not that big of a deal. But when they put it in the federal case where they're saying somebody stole their kid, why do you need to put it in the federal case? And they probably did it as just a document to open a case and not as an exhibit telling that they're not a citizen, right, of the United States, or they're not under this jurisdiction. What you have to understand, guys, is that this guy is not learning what he is doing. He's taking documents, changing the name, and throwing it in a case. Now, think about this. If Mike knows so much, why is Mike allowing his friend to throw something in a case that he doesn't know back and forth, in and out, where it is in law and where the requirement is to put it in the law? He doesn't pay attention to what he's doing. He wants to take the easy way out. He doesn't want to open the law books and study. Now, some of y'all in my law groups, y'all know that people put stuff in cases in the group and they say, oh, the case quoted that there's a fourth, fifth branch, sixth branch of government. And I'm like, show me. And they show me a case. I'm like, did you read it? Then I go hard at them to show them that they're lying and somebody tricked them into putting something in something that never existed in the case. So then we have this big old fight because they're trying to drop stuff in my group that can't be verified. That's right. Derek Bay said anything that can be proven must be proven. So you need to show what is what, and you need to be able to rebut these clowns when they try to challenge you and say that's sovereign citizen stuff. See, if they do it to me, I'm going to say, okay, so help me understand here. I need you to tell all the people of America and the legislature where in the Constitution it said you could call me a sovereign citizen if I say I have all the power or the people have all political power. Did it not say right here in the state constitution, we have all political power. So what the freak is the argument about? They can't argue about their own trust indenture. Now you guys will see why when I teach about the state constitutions, I don't add all that other stuff. I don't add a big long status document. I give you 1 or 2 pages. I explain to you exactly why it works. And every one of y'all who deal with me can have a fight with somebody and explain exactly what the law says. You know exactly where to go with the state constitution and make your notices. There is no reason, guys. There is no reason to play with all these words and things that you've never read and seen for yourself when you could easily study. But see, guys, now you're seeing the danger. This is why I'm so hard when I say, oh, no, you're not going to come here in my group and just say stuff that you can't find in law. Show it to me. And when somebody attacks me, I'm going to drop smoke on them, attorney, judge. This is why I will challenge any one of them in front of y'all any day of the week. So y'all can see that you don't have to be a punk coward like this dude because he did not study. And he's blaming his failures on everybody else. I studied stuff from Carl Lentz. I tried to do some stuff, not understanding all the way when I was in a panic. But then I realized I need to sit my butt down and let God lead me. I need to study. I need to fight and stand. And this is why God has allowed me to be able to show y'all parent after parent saying they won. I had to lose myself first. And I'm going to get them back. Watch. I'm going to get mine back. But I had to lose myself to break down and study so hard like I've never did before. God had to give me some energy. God had to give me some fire up under me to make me a monster, and it worked. So when people say, Dave, why won't you just do this for us? You don't care about us, Dave, if you don't write this exactly like we want it. You don't care. Does Dave care about us if he has a membership that's $30? Well, David Jose buys cars for people who don't have a way to get around. And the CPS says, we want to give you your kid back, but the only thing that's stopping us is a car. I go buy a freaking car. Some people who are in the movement will never get up and do anything for anybody else. They only care about their own cases. But if I buy a car for somebody, it costs money. So I'm not too prideful to say I'm going to take my knowledge and understanding and teach the other people in the movement. I don't charge CPS parents, but for those other people who want it like a Happy Meal because they're really serious and they want it right now in a hurry, I will stop every freaking thing I do and give real people real information, and they will invest a small amount and it will make them hungry, because you're either going to be tough as heck from being hungry because you put some money in, or you're going to be hungry as heck because you suffered. One of the two. Most people don't do anything unless they have some pain. Giving a couple of dollars is pain. You could go buy a Happy Meal and some Chick-fil-A. But when you pay that $50 for your membership, you're part of something. You're in something special. You're part of the invested. You're in a safe place where you're going to learn and study, and you can ask me questions, and I'm going to show you word for word in the actual text of the constitutions. But this silly guy, Michael, said to this man, hey, all you do in your shows is teach the Constitution. How does that apply to getting kids back? Don't y'all know when I give people stuff to get their kids back is mostly the Constitution? I'm straight quoting Constitution left and right. And this dude don't realize that that's the actual thing that make you win. But we're going to keep going. I'm going to let y'all hear some more of this. Now, guys, this is good, healthy understanding. In the Bible, people say, well, David, are you really giving your time to this clown? Well, actually, what's happening is I'm allowing the people to see the truth. Because what happens is the deep state comes in and influences people by giving you a little doubt without any real information. And some of y'all have been so caught up with deep state and programming and stuff like that, that when somebody tells you, oh, well, I heard on a website that a guy made who's not really real news, that David Jose did this and killed 187 people and beat up everybody and killed his family, but he never been to jail. Some of y'all listen. Some of y'all will give up your victory because you listen to a lie from the devil and you don't even check. Some of y'all have gotten your phones hacked because people who hang around Michael Cadena put out URLs trying to act like they're stories about people they don't like. And those URLs actually come back to traffickers who get all of your information, steal your information off your phone. Sophia, who we used to talk to, got her phone hacked, passing something forward from Gail Golick, who got with Clemens and did the same thing and got a whole bunch of people's phones hacked. I'm telling y'all, these devilish people have went to people's houses, took pictures of their kids after they hacked their phones. You're dealing with real enemies, real wicked people. This is how I live my freaking life every day. I have to study. I have to learn. Sometimes I'm hungry. Sometimes I'm dizzy. Josh will tell you I ended up with cortisol issues. My heart started messing up. My feet were feeling neuropathy. I was getting dizzy. I was broken, but God gave me more wisdom than I ever had in my life. I would listen to sometimes 14, 16 hours a day of Bible and law, to the point that now I challenge anybody to say what I'm saying ain't true. You gonna have a bad day. With my neuropathy that I had, I have to fight to give stimulation to bring myself back. My feet are doing almost perfectly well now, but I had to fight. I had to gain wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, having faith that when I eat certain things, that God was going to allow it to travel through my body. When I thin out my blood, that is going to allow my blood to get to the parts of my body that stop working correctly and fix it and heal it. And I had to put the right nutrients in my body. I had to take Shilajit and do all these different things to prepare myself to be able to fight this battle. But I understand that you guys are valuable enough. So when I come to y'all, I don't make it sound sophisticated. One thing I didn't like about Kirk was his attitude, his anger. And if you listen, he speaks from a place that he's better than everybody else. I come to y'all and I speak to y'all from a place that I'm a nothing dirty Negro from the ghetto. That's all I am. I am nothing. But you see, God is doing something with the nothing. You see it. So the thing is, I've been through great pain and suffering, guys. There's been times that I've been on here with y'all for hours and I don't even eat. I'm trembling and shaking. There were times where I was down to nothing, fighting for my kids, learning the law. The people whose house I was at, who had my kids, wouldn't even let me use my iPad to do business at their house. There's times I was hungry. I gave up my businesses because people wanted to shoot me when I go pick up the stuff because they knew what I was doing around the nation. Hitman came to the state to kill me. I'm telling y'all what I had to freaking suffer through to make sure the people knew the truth. And this is what I realized. The people are not learning the truth because people aren't taking time to break it down to people in the way they understand it. Kirk and Chris used to do shows with another guy named John Gentry. John Gentry did a remonstrance and they ignored it. Nobody listened to it. I did a remonstrance in 2018. People ignored it and didn't listen to it. Now Josh Barnett can tell y'all I teach people in the legislature in multiple states. I didn't stop. I kept fighting. I kept teaching. And then I built the people. I realized that if we stop just caring about our own problems and start bringing everybody together to fix it as a whole, it may seem like it's going to take longer, but with the blessing of God, it's actually quicker. So I literally learned more than any attorney and most of my peers. There's a couple of guys. There's a guy on here, Derek, who knows more than me right now. Dude is brilliant. He got knowledge that I've never even touched. But I can call Derek and we can break down some stuff and I can add to my knowledge. There's a guy named Jonah that loves me like a brother that I can call and talk to about life and business and stuff like that. And Jonah even tell me, Dave, you know, if you get anything out of what you do with your teaching, even though these people pay schools and lawyers, they're going to hate you. Because David, really what you know, you should be ultra wealthy, not even doing all your other businesses that you left. Jonah knows I left real estate. I left some of my other businesses to do this, to be a powerhouse at helping people have victory. I'm missing millions of dollars. He says, David, the people won't want you to have anything. They will take your knowledge and wisdom, but they will hate you if you get something for it, but they'll be there to hear. Y'all got to understand that I don't go around begging people for nothing. There's times that I've been hungry. I told a lot of y'all, you don't really love me. You don't give a freak about me. You are here because the knowledge is good. That's why when I leave a webinar, I ask, are y'all fed? Did y'all get some good food? Are y'all feeling good? Because we win together. If people gonna say that people of color have been done wrong in the past, and we say people who were white were not right because they didn't fix it for us, then how the freak am I going to see white people done wrong right now by the same elite people, and I don't step in and fight for y'all and help y'all to see truth all together? How the freak am I going to be a real man if I don't realize that all of us want to have a little bit of love? All of us want to have a little bit of money. All of us want to have a secure place to live. All of us want to hang with our kids if we got them. All we want to do is have a little peace and joy. So my people of color, I got people of color right now who are Moors on this video right now who give a freak about the people who are lighter skinned people. And I got people who are lighter skinned people on here right now that one of my people, if they are Moors, said, man, you know what, Dave? I don't have nobody to help me. I'm suffering. These people be coming out of their pocket right now. The people of color will give to the people who are white right now. Because we have learned to grow up. We have learned to be one. We have learned to stand together, to care about each other's issues. There's a lot of problems going on outside of our movements, but we some bad mama jammas inside of our movement. We come together, we freaking fight. We make sure people got food to eat. We help people get cars, clothes, whatever they need, because we are our brother's keeper, period. And that's how you have massive victory. That's why we have a movement that's tight knit. That's why I will kick somebody out of a group in a heartbeat. I don't give a dang how smart you are, how much money you got. You dog anybody in the freaking group or try to act stupid. You come teaching a lie. You come playing games and think it's about you. We will kick you out in a second because it's a family and our family wins. We got victory all over the nation. Outside the nation, it ain't nobody in America that can touch the victory that y'all are having right now. It's because we have a model that's set after the church in the Bible. That's why this stuff is happening. It's because I'm using God's wisdom to bring these things together. That's why there's people who can go into one of our shows. I could shut the freak up and y'all can start teaching. Knowledge will be dropped all freaking day. Sharon, you could go make a 2-hour video just teaching law and not run out of stuff to talk about. She's a bad mama jamma. The affidavit mamas can bring smoke all across the nation, do a Zoom video every day of the week and never run out of knowledge. So I want y'all to see what real life is like, because sometimes we get freaking spoiled. We don't even realize how good we got it. This is why we got to slow down sometime and thank God and say, God, you know, you are great. I ain't had no dang law license ever. I ain't been in no law school. I've been in this thing like 3 years and we bringing so much smoke is no joke, right? It's crazy. How in the world did we get this far so freaking fast? Derek was talking to me on the phone the other day. He was saying, Dave, you know, I remember when I first started, man, these people was coming at us and they hated us for what we did, man. But now I'm seeing stuff happening. And me and my brother was talking about it and the stuff we were setting up to do all those years back, way before you even heard about a law, anything, Dave. We're watching it happen and God is doing it through you. See, that's the type of law people I like dealing with. The real brothers who love each other and happy about victory, not these hating freaking clowns, right? We don't have to do it. We don't have to do it. But I'm gonna let y'all hear a little bit more of this so you can hear how this clown is talking and you'll see how the real world works. Now, Kirk is talking to him, Michael, and he's going to say some curse words and some stuff now about David Straight. But the thing is, you got to understand, you have to break this knowledge down into small pieces if you really want to build a people. And you got to put thousands of hours in, right? See, you could have the biggest movement in the world and never get anything done. You could have the most high level, big paid attorneys like Mike Lindell and Trump and get no movement. Or you could be a nobody nothing from the ghetto and know God and get an audit, get kids back, right? Meet Josh and Josh help you meet with politicians to have the audit, right? Meet Josh and Josh set up all the stuff for the people who got into the audit after the fact, right? The people who set up the staffing of the audit was Josh's campaign people. Come on, y'all. Right? All these different situations that you're seeing happening, you don't realize is because God is good. But let's listen some more.
Yeah. That's the only reason why I'm reaching out to you, because I see what you're figuring it out, okay? But you haven't wanted to listen to me for quite some time.
Well, we're here now, Kirk, and I'm asking you if you are willing to help.
I know, I get it.
You know, look. The last thing I want is for you to be pissed off at me and block me, and we get nowhere. Right? That's the last thing I want. And I'm glad that we're arguing and we're still able to just keep on talking and figure something out. Or even if we don't figure out for something for today, don't block me. That's all I ask. Okay? I'm not gonna bash on you or anything. I'm trying to hear you out. Okay? You have to understand, with me and David Straight, it went pretty far for a long-term period and none of it worked. Right now, I just got a hold of you. I'm willing to hear you out and do the research, you know, that you provide to me, or whatever documents you want to show me out of your own grace. I'd really be appreciative of that. I really would. You know what I mean? And I want to say that
you don't want to go watch the 8 episodes of my educational series to teach you in a chronological order of things how I've laid all this stuff out already.
Meanwhile, John's kid. Meanwhile,
you were asking me about videos earlier.
Meanwhile, John's kid is going to remain in CPS DCF custody for the entire duration of the video time that it takes us to watch all 8 episodes of your educational videos. And
okay, let me lay this out real quick for you, because it seems like that's what you want. Notice of special appearance objecting to personal jurisdiction. Motion to dismiss, assert the proper grounds, and a brief memorandum of law with points of authority. And you need to change your verbiage. The diction that you guys use is parents and child, and you need to change it to father, son, or daughter, but that's common law diction. And get out of that Perrines patriae, which is where the state is the parent, and you're a ward of the state through the birth certificate, which is all fucking fraud. So you do your notice of special appearance, and you're claiming that you're a man, and, oh, gee, what's the status here? Father. And that's my fucking property, and I want my property back. Somebody has stolen my property. Give me my property back right now, and here's my fucking order to end this.
And can you
Did you get all that? You
yeah.
know how to do all that?
Okay, and you know what? Yeah, we've already done all that. Like, seriously. And it didn't work. Yeah, yes we did. Yes we did. And I can send you a PDF file, a folder of all the documents, but you don't want to take a look at it. And you want me to watch your educational videos.
Okay.
Can we come to an agreement? Can't I show you the documents that we filed? And can't I?
Send me your documents. I'll look at them.
All right, and I'll watch.
You're saying that you filed each individual document that I just named, properly entitled.
Yes.
Notice of special appearance. You filed that?
Yep.
No, you didn't, because you already sent that to me, and that's not what it's entitled.
Well, it was a special appearance nonetheless.
Okay. And you filed a motion to dismiss, citing the proper rule and procedure and the proper grounds for dismissal.
Let me get together. I'm gonna get together a list of the documents in a folder on a Google Drive, and I'll send it to you right now. It won't take me no more than an hour. Just let me put it together. And I'll start. I will turn on your first educational video right now, and I will start going through them right now, because I want to work with you. I want to see what it is that I'm missing, but I want you to look at what I've been missing, or whatever it is that I have. Right? And this is really just for John, man. I'm just really trying to help him out, right? And he wants to talk. He wants to talk to you too.
Talking about one particular case, and that's not what I do. I do what I do for everybody,
and that's what I'm trying.
Much bigger,
Kirk. That's what I'm trying to. Kirk, do you realize that this is for everybody too? I'm documenting this for the entire world to see exactly what it is that we're doing. I'm not just gonna help John. I'm not just gonna help John and walk away from everyone else. This has an effect for everybody.
No. Following due process of law is how you make it affect everybody else. Like what happened in Ector County, Texas, by shutting the whole fucking fraudulent court down. That is how it affected everybody else.
Well, we really don't know.
That's what I'm talking about.
And we really don't know how the outcome of that even turned out, because we don't know if kids were returned or not. Yes, but
the whole court was shut down.
Fine, nobody's got jobs, but do we know if kids got returned? No, we don't. You don't know that.
We're going to go through this again.
I mean, you can't give credit to something that wasn't verified. Fine, people aren't working.
I just sent you the fucking document.
Okay, fine. And okay, fine. People don't got jobs, but what about parents? Do they got their kids back?
No. The people are no longer being subjected to that corrupt court. That's how it affected everybody else.
I mean, I just want to know if kids got returned home. And you don't know that. You don't
care that the corrupt court was exposed and that the judge got removed from the bench and it shut down the whole family.
I mean, did the judge go to jail? Did the judge go to jail?
No. What Nathan said, what happened was the judge was offered, because see, remember when this happened? This was back in 2018. So this was kind of a new thing in history that this was being done this way, because this is what Chris figured out. And I learned this process from Chris. But then going down the rabbit hole and learning more, I found out, wait a minute, there's other things that need to be done here. And he didn't want to listen. But that's okay.
I just want to know.
He finally did, in the end, start doing what I previously had done, which I helped a woman file 3 public corruption complaints. And apparently only 2 of them made it through, but a judge and a prosecutor got arrested within 5 days after filing that criminal complaint.
And that's on the news?
No. Why would that be on the news? Who gives a fuck about the fake news?
I mean,
I'm talking about what I actually fucking did.
Well, your channel can actually be the news too, just so you know. You can give credit on your channel. You can show everyone, the newspaper, You can go into the courthouse and ask the new prosecutor, hey, what happened to the last prosecutor? I heard he got arrested.
You don't get how this works, dude. We don't get that information.
So how do you know that he was even? How do you know that the prosecutors were even arrested? There's got to be a mugshot.
All right. I have a U.S. Marshal friend that I've been working with for a little over a year now. They're the ones that went and made the fucking arrests. That's how I know.
So there's an actual arrest record then.
Again, this is all internal. It's not out here in the public like you and I getting arrested. There's not a fucking public record of it.
Of course there is. It's an arrest record is public record.
See this stuff.
So I'm supposed to just believe you that some prosecutor got arrested and nobody's ever going to be able to confirm that?
This, Michael. Do you think I'm lying to you?
I think that you're not being very. I think.
What gain am I going to get out of this?
I think that you're not being very, very thorough in what you're telling me. I think that you're not being very specific.
That's not the question, dude. The question is what gain am I getting out of this? And do you think I'm lying to you?
I think that you're not being very clear. That you have no support of anything of what you're saying is true. Are you lying? I don't know that because I really haven't checked into it. Now, if you gave me the name of the prosecutor, I can definitely tell you if he was arrested.
I don't have the name of the prosecutor.
So then you're telling me a prosecutor got arrested, yet you don't even know his name.
That's right.
Oh my God.
Because I'm not the one that was there. I'm not the one that made the arrest.
So you're telling me a story that you don't know that is true or confirmed. You couldn't even testify under the penalty.
It was confirmed.
You couldn't even testify under the penalty of perjury that what you're saying to me is true in court and get away with it.
Sure can.
Really?
And I would.
So you saw the prosecutor go to jail yourself?
No, that's not what I would testify to. I would testify to that I helped a woman file 2 public corruption complaints, and actually it was 3. But apparently when the U.S. Marshal friend went and verified how this all happened, because nobody knew that I helped her. This is all after the fact. And the only reason why I found out about it because the woman that I helped told them that I helped her do this. So they went and fucking verified it. And sure enough, it was because of the public corruption complaints, which were criminal complaints.
I think you're just full of shit.
Then why talk to me, dude? Why waste my fucking time?
I don't know. You're the one calling me. I don't know.
Because I'm providing you with evidence to support the claims that I have made.
I mean,
You're
look,
not
look,
even
look.
recognizing that.
Look, if you want to help us, you're more than welcome to, right? And I hope that we can
You're
get
gonna
a.
have to-
I hope we can get along. I really do, but I don't want to be here. I don't want to be
You
here.
don't believe a shit thing that I'm saying.
Look, I don't
But
want
then
to.
you want my fucking help.
I don't want to
Which
be.
is it?
I don't even think that you can help us, and I'm just trying to see if you can. You know, I really hope you can. I really hope that there's something there that you know that I don't.
No.
But I don't think.
I'm not going to help you if you're going to sit here and talk shit about me and not believe me. And again, answer the question. Do you think I'm lying to you? And what gain would I get out of this?
I think you're full of shit.
Okay.
I mean, I'm just gonna tell you straight up.
Then there's no need for us to talk anymore. If you think I'm full of shit, I
No.
don't know what I'm talking about, right?
Oh, okay. I mean, but I think you're full of shit.
Okay. You can think what you want to think, but that it doesn't mean that it's true,
Okay.
right?
Phony.
Uh-huh. Okay. Thought you said you wanted help.
Not from a
You don't know
phone.
how to fucking do it. You
Not-
guys are getting your fucking asses handed to you.
Not by a
You're
big
scrambling
phony.
trying to find out how to do all this, and here's a man that can help you, that can provide the knowledge and education.
I mean, send me some send me some documents.
I just sent you some fucking documents.
You didn't send me the special appearance. You didn't.
No, I didn't.
Well, send it to me.
But I proved to you that
You didn't prove
There's a
any. You
document
didn't
that
prove to me. You
references-
didn't prove anything to me that any kids got returned in the masses of 1,250. You didn't.
no, I did not. What I did prove to you is that we filed stuff in Congress regarding a corrupt court in Ector County, Texas, and it fucking got abolished.
Okay,
There's
fine.
the
So
fucking reference
fine.
right there.
Fine.
The
People.
document is proof.
So people
From
don't.
the
So people don't have jobs at the court. Fine. Okay. Great. Awesome.
No,
Awesome.
that-
But what about the
It's that
kids?
People are not being subjected to the corrupted court. That's what it is.
I mean, I just want to know how many kids got returned.
But you're not listening to what happened and how it happened. And you're not reading the fucking paperwork that talks about it.
I want to see paperwork that really works.
I just gave that to you.
You got a court abolished. Fine. Okay. But how many kids got returned after that?
Oh, dude. If you're going to base this all on...
Show me some evidence.
Go do the fucking research yourself. You already...
I think I'm probably gonna have to.
So go do that.
I think I will. I think that's all I can do at this point. I think that
Alright.
you're just not being very clear. I really don't think that you know how to
I'm
do
telling
any
you
of this.
that I don't know.
Okay, that's
I
all.
can't give you something I don't know.
Okay. Well,
I
thank
didn't
you.
lie to you and say, oh, thousands of kids came home. I don't know. And I told you I don't know. I didn't lie to you.
Do you know how to get any kids returned? Have you dealt with family court before?
Dude. Yes.
What kids? What kid?
I have a son right now.
What kids have you gotten returned home that were taken away?
Okay, dude. Like I told you before, I quit working with family law people because they're too fucking emotionally distraught and traumatized. They can't do the paperwork.
And you know what?
But again, I'll tell you
I'm
right
actually
now,
doing
I did
pay.
help one woman out in Minnesota.
How many kids have you gotten returned?
I don't do that, dude.
I think I'm talking to the
That's
wrong
not
guy.
what I do.
I think I'm talking to the wrong guy. I think I'm talking to the wrong guy.
How many kids have you gotten home?
Oh, I already told you. I already told you that.
So who the fuck are you to sit here and ask me how many kids I've gotten home when
Because
you
you're trying to, because you're over here trying to offer your help for something you've never done either.
Oh, but I have done this process.
Really?
But see, you people stuck in this family law realm.
And what do you mean by you people? What do you mean by you? What do you mean by you people? What do you mean by you people? What's up with that?
Law, non-movement shit. I quit that family law movement shit years ago because of this issue right here. Well, how many kids have you gotten home?
I mean, either there's a number or there's not.
You want what your rights are and how to effectively defend yourself.
Bro, people are watching your YouTube channel and Facebook for the fact that their kids have been removed, and you're teaching them crap, bro.
No, it ain't crap.
Yeah, it
They're
is.
facts of law, and we actually show the letter of the law. So again,
You are pulling in
Okay, y'all.
attention from
This
people
is
from
the part
all
that I really
aspects.
want you
Okay.
guys to hear. I want you guys to understand the real truth just came out. Now, Michael Cadena is traveling around the nation helping people with court cases. As a matter of fact, a woman in the comments just said that Michael Cadena said that he specializes in going to federal court. But Michael Cadena just admitted, along with Kirk, that he never got any kids back. Now, I want y'all to understand something super powerful and why I am the way that I am. Michael Cadena has never has never gotten a kid back, ever. Michael Cadena got his channel going because he learned from people who really got kids back. I don't go around telling y'all how great I am because I got kids back. But I show y'all the mothers and fathers coming out and telling y'all that they got their kids back. So Michael Cadena is going around getting people to give him donations, and he has a channel about him versus CPS. And he goes around and he gets people's documents and put them in cases, but he doesn't know what to do. He has never gotten anybody's kids back. As a matter of fact, he tried to talk about me on a video and say, hey, Dave, you didn't get your kids back. But I learned because of my fight. And now I'm at 94 kids that I've taken part in getting them back. And we got 13 others that we just found out the other day from a woman named Heather that I taught stuff to, as well as Kirk and Chris and other people. She used a mixture of our stuff, and she's gotten 13 kids back. Now, Annabella, Josh's new campaign manager, got a kid back using the documents that I put together, gave to her. She gave it to a person who had their kid medically kidnapped. They kicked the kid out of the hospital, gave her kid back within a day or two. So the thing is that I have evidence because real living people have come out and showed their kids back at home and say, David Jose taught me what to do, help me stand, help me learn, help me understand what's in these documents and why. And sometimes they even had to fight against their spouse to stand up, where they were getting ready to lose their kids forever, was losing time, they were getting things cut off. And then after that, we put something in and we teach them what to do and how to stand, and the kids come back home. So guys, we got to understand that when we fight these fights, we are dealing with real life stuff. And there's a lot of people who are running around talking about law, talking about what they can do, talking about how smart they are, how great they are. They're going to knock down all the fakes in the movement. But notice, I have shown y'all over and over again, mothers and fathers in different states from me getting their kids back. And the first case, I got 9 kids back where somebody watched my stuff, used what I said word for word. 9 kids with the same judge I had, same attorney, same guardian ad litem. Her 9 kids are at home right now. They gave me November dinner for Thanksgiving one year when they got their kids back. So I'm a nothing and a nobody, y'all, but I study to show myself approved. I try to build up everybody. I wanted you guys to see a real life situation with an attorney. It's crazy now too. In some places, they've actually just said, I'm going to get David Jose to give you a notice, or I know David Jose, and they've given them their kids back. There was a guy who was at a hotel in the Midwest. He had 4 parents there. They watched my stuff. He helped them and got kids back. And then there was another family that came on YouTube and told me, yeah, I told them we're going to get David Jose in, and they gave the kids back. I'm like, holy moly, right? Blew me away, right? But the thing is, I'm a regular old guy. And I understand that there's certain things that we have to do to win. So I wanted you guys to see what I go through in many days of my life. I wanted you to see how there's people running around faking you know, faking like they're doing stuff in law, faking like they're getting kids back, and they're not. So this guy actually said, he's talking about Kirk. How many kids did you get back? Now, Kirk does talk about the law and teach law stuff, but the problem is this guy is attacking Kirk because he's saying Kirk didn't get any kids back. Now, remember I told y'all, if somebody's going to be a judge of your work, they probably should be somebody who's really fighting. Yeah, there's people who have dropped my name and had them get the kids back. I'm not a hero though, y'all. I'm just a regular old dude. I want to get my hot rod done. That's one thing I really want to do. I got to put my flex plate on the back, but I thought I should get this video out to you guys so you could kind of see what happens in the real world. I know my homegirl, Melly Mel, I love the heck out of her. She's a little gangster. She talks about how I have PI skills or how I'm hood and I can kind of see stuff. I got wisdom to see what's happening. I want y'all to see what I really see behind the scenes. So when you look up, that freak was making comments on his YouTube. I want y'all to understand that when you see what really goes on in real life, y'all get to live a life where y'all get to get a lot of knowledge and understanding, but you're not dealing with these things per se. Me being one of the ones who's in the forefront, who's going after this stuff, they're going to dog you. They're going to dog you. They're going to try to crush you. They're going to try to embarrass you. Chris Hallett, my dear friend, who I learned about the remonstrance from and different things like that. I told people Chris Hallett did not die in vain, that I will take the knowledge with me that he gave me. Now, I didn't watch a lot of their Kirk's Law Corner videos, you know, the hour and some long videos, because I was studying for our own stuff and teaching the people what I knew. And so I was able to get a lot of victories by using what I understood that was simple. Chris Hallett was so freaking brilliant. He'll put a board behind him, have freaking equations and stuff to break down how they're breaking the law. And I'm like, dang, Kirk, man, can you teach a Negro in third grader, man? Like, you can't be showing me these freaking advanced equations, trying to teach me some simple concept. Can I get this in third grader, right? Y'all got a code breaker? Y'all got a freaking sign language person or something to help me with this? Because I can't understand this junk, right? So the thing is that, you know, we get people who threaten to kill me, who say they're going to come get me or whatever. And I'm from the hood already. I'm not that worried about that stuff. I've lived past 18, which I didn't think I would. I thought I'd get shot in my teenage years because everybody's getting shot, right? So, yeah, Chris and David Straight were okay. They weren't super, super close like that. David Straight did offer some opportunities for Kirk to go to help save a person who's dealing with some stuff in law. I do know of multiple people who have been freed from federal court using David Straight work, right? So it is what it is. I never hate on David Straight. David Straight has taught me a lot of stuff. And I just have a different form with simplicity in the Bible than what David Straight has. David Straight has been studying for longer than I've probably been alive. So to try to understand and prove everything he says is too difficult to try to do in one case time. And I tell y'all, you ain't gonna learn as much as David Straight. If you went 10 years straight, learning everything that David Straight knows, you'll still be playing catch up, right? Same way with Jonah. If I went 10 years trying to learn everything Jonah knows, dude is freaking next level. His brother, next freaking level, you know? So there's a lot of things they know about banking and being in the private and different things that they do that I have not studied and I don't use it. So we got to learn, guys, to take information from wise people, love them, show them love, tell who they are. Don't ever be a freaking hater. I talk about these guys like big bros, like they're the freaking man, right? And I don't try to make it look like I'm better than everybody else. The only thing I can do is do what God gave me to do better than anybody else. I can't be a Jonah. I can't be a David Straight. I can't be even a Kirk Pendergrass, right? Can't be him, can't be a Chris Hallett. I could take knowledge and wisdom and use it and make stuff that works and be a freaking beast, but I can't be them, you know, and I don't want to. I don't want to take away from the good people who have laid down so much hard work to bring fire and smoke. And what we got to understand, is we're going to suffer a little bit, right? When we grow and learn. But y'all got to realize there's people in the movement who will hate on you and hate your guts while you're saving their kid. There's people who I got their kids back and they didn't even tell me. I had to find out months later, somebody else tell me. So no, I'm just a small fry, guys. Like I said, I do want to get my car built though. So I may see if I can do that. I may see if I can get to some places to pick up some parts today if the Lord wills. I do want to put my flex plate on. I do want to get all that stuff going. My old engine was bad, so I want to get it done again. My new one, I did get a new one. I had some people go pick it up for me. So rather than a little small 318 baby engine, I got a 360 now. Way more powerful, way bigger. Great compression. The motor was hard. You could turn it over and it's like, psh, 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 psh. You can hear the compression popping. So this thing is going to be a freaking beast, right? So I'm trying to get it all together and get stuff worked out. I drop a lot of time on weekends. I sometimes get down a little bit because it was driving already. I drove it, but the motor started smoking because they had stop leak in it. So either the heads are cracked, the head gaskets were cracked, and I don't think it was the head gaskets because I seen them, or the cylinders are cracked, right? But it was smoking, and I'm like, man, are you freaking kidding me? But you tap the gas, the car was trying to like jump. It was like, whoop, whoop. I'm like, ooh, like it was nuts. I might run it at the track or whatever if the Lord lets me live. It'll be on boost, and I'm trying to wonder now, should I take all the pistons out and gap the rings for boost for extra protection? Because the last time I did a motor like this, it lasted for like 4 or 5 years. It had a bad timing chain, and that was causing me a problem, but I fixed that. But after about 5 years, I broke it running like 16, 17 pounds of boost all the time. I think a pump failed and it blew the motor. So what I did was Dave sent me the paperwork for my grandson. No questions asked. Yep. So the thing is that they should have more than 380 horses though. It should probably be like 500-600 horses. And I could probably turn it up to 1,000 horsepower with good tunes, maybe safely 800, and be able to drive it on the street with twin turbo. There's another guy who has one where he runs 1,000 horsepower running with nitrous with a good tune. And definitely we'll beat Lambos. But anyway, I wanted you guys to see this. I wanted you guys to see what happens with attorneys who try to come after us and don't really know the law. I showed you guys, I can't say about not wrecking or whatever. Sometimes you have to get in the middle. Sometimes you're in situations where it's just dangerous. If you go to the track, you can die. It can happen, you know? I don't worry too much. But anyway, what you guys got to understand is that we have a time to have victory, but there's some haters in the process. There's some people who don't really value what you give them. There's people who don't really value knowledge and wisdom, so you can't always expect that people are going to give you their best. But you can understand, guys, how hard it is when people deal with you the way they deal with you. And you can clearly see that I'm out here fighting, trying to save the people, with people hating on me and trying to destroy me at the same time. Another thing is you give up so much of your time, so much of your days to study and do things that other people don't want to do. Guys, many of the people in the law movement are worse than Michael when it comes to studying. They don't want to look. They don't want to try. They don't give a freak about trying to figure it out, but they're trying to tell you how much smarter they are than you and how great they are. And they have no history of doing anything good. So it is what it is. But guys, I want to know, people don't care about how much you know if they don't know how much you care. That's right. A lot of people are like that, you know. A lot of people don't care about you if you care either, you know. Like I've shown a lot of care to people, and they don't give a freak, you know. So I realize it is what it is, right? But I do need to work. That's right, Carla. I need to work on my car to unwind. That should be good. If you get copper sheets, cut it just like head gaskets, and to thickness. When you put them in, you will never blow another head gasket. That'd be deep. I got some copper exhaust gaskets, but when I tighten it down, it won't crush enough because I got these little Allen key bolts, and they're too small. Dave, even keyboard warriors are getting their That's right. People, keyboard warriors, that get shot up on a live video. They'd be a live video like, do. Like, dang it, dude. Like you thought you were extra gangster. But I wanted to give y'all this video so y'all could get the ability to respect what I do, what I fight through, what I suffer through, so y'all could see real life. This clown anus attorney is gonna bring his anus in the mix sometime, try to make a video about how much smarter he is than me or whatever. He just got his anus cracked though, I think. What y'all think about that attorney in the big of the video? Does he not look dumb saying that the people don't get to be the one to tell if government officials are going against the Constitution, that the oversight boards and committees and stuff is what we use to do that? What y'all think? Know your DA. What? What'd you say, Chris Carlin? I don't understand what DA mean. Oh, you're Dave. Eat first, then work on a car. I got some friends that's helping me. They actually cleaned off the engine for me, made it really, really, really super nice and clean. They rubbed their hands across it. You couldn't even see dirt. So I'm going to ask them to tighten up that back part for me and see if they can throw the engine in for me. Veronica, what do you think? Did they get that smoke, that attorney? What about you, Matt? I want to get that put in. So anybody who's in the church and y'all pray for me that God get me on this. And for any of those who want to give to that family, there's a military family, fell on some real hard times. This guy is very close to graduating from his school. They have two older, like 12-year-old, and I think like a 10-year-old and a 12-year-old or around there, boys, and a brand new baby, and he's on disability. But the cost in Phoenix are going up like crazy, and they got more kids, and the person whose house he's in, they're getting ready to get rid of it. He just got to the church, y'all. They went and visited the church last week, fell in love with the church. They want to continue to go to the church or whatever, so they're probably going to end up baptized and members of Christ's body. Y'all know I got a real soft spot in my heart for anybody who's part of the church. You are my family. I've had people in the church before who people have given up on them, and I literally take them into my house with their kids and help them to live while they're building their business, building their careers, right? And I'll say, listen, you don't pay nothing. You live for free, you eat for free, anything in the refrigerator is yours. And we want you to be successful, right? And it has happened with multiple people. They've been able to go to school, change their lives. So this guy has one class left to get his certification for welding, and he's good. And so I want to help him. One of you guys sent $75 earlier. I sent that over. One of you guys sent 40. I sent that over. And somebody asked me, I'll put up a Cash App link or whatever. It says veteran in his name. I'll add that to this video description if I can. And if you guys could, I'll put it on Telegram too. Could you share it around? Please, if you could give $1, if you could give 50 cents. If you don't have money, I'm not asking you for anything. So if you're one of those people who feel like, oh, I'm just going to tell Dave we don't have anything, so and he shouldn't be asking for somebody else because it just looks funny on my post, don't write on my post. I might block you forever. Understand that if you don't have, I'm not asking you to give. But for those who have or those who love to give, I'm asking you to help. For people who have a will to give, if you ain't got money, you ain't got to give. You don't have to waste a post to say, I don't have money. What kind of dude are you to ask somebody for help? I got stuff going on in my life. Well, the next time you tell us you need something in your life, we're going to ignore you. Because the thing is that it's about everybody, and people need money. People need food. People are hungry. And we get victories by making sure that even the weakest of us are okay. Thank you for that love, Candy. I appreciate it. And prayer. Y'all got to understand that you are as strong as your weakest link. You keep letting everybody fall apart and have nothing if you want to. When that dang steamroller come down your street and try to force you to do something, a mandate or something, you ain't gonna have nobody. So it is what it is. That's right, Matt Spencer. And, you know, if you give $1, if you say, you know what, I walk to the store every night, I'm gonna stop and I'm gonna grab 10 cans and get $1 back off of the 10 cans, then get 10 cans. If you have to say, you know, I know somebody who got grass, I could rake their grass and get $15 and I'll give $5. Just do that. Like,
you know, let's stop looking at all the reasons we can't do something and try to find a reason to help. That's right. So anyway, I'm going to put that link to his Cash App up. I don't really like to put it out here because I don't know if somebody might try to hack it, but I'm going to do it. And I'm going to put it in the Telegram group. If you see it, please share it for me. But I do thank you guys for everything. I thank you guys for being so powerful and mighty. I thank you guys for being a good audience. I thank you guys for being able to watch for a short time the people who's supposed to be coming after me. Mike Cadena is making videos about me. I didn't even go check his video. I'm like, dude, I don't even watch the videos of losers. You know what I'm saying? I don't do that junk. You know, some of these guys go all day and night trying to go around hating on people. I'm like, I don't give a freak about all that, dude. They're like, Dave, are you going to watch what he says about you? I'm like, really? I don't care that much. It don't matter. He never got a kid back. What does it matter? Somebody who doesn't know how to fight is mad at you. Okay. Whoop-de-doo. Until he come tell me in my face so we can have a party, I don't respect you that much. All right. But anyway, I'm going to catch y'all later. Y'all be cool. Stay out of trouble. Peace.